Are we gonna have a Nas tonight? Are we gonna have a Nas tonight? I remember him threatening. Are we gonna have a Nas tonight? I remember him threatening. Are we gonna have a Nas tonight? I remember him threatening. Are we gonna have a Nas tonight? I remember him threatening.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it. And also, I had my Twitch stream open at the same time as watching it. Yeah. I had a lot of looping audio. Anyway.
Yeah, that's good. He's a good tweet.
We've been plumbing the depths of the royalty-free music catalog on the internet. Oh, this is solid soundtrack material.
This is a pretty solid soundtrack.
I got this off the Humble Bundle. It's a big pack of audio. I can show you what I got. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, totally.
Alright. This is Assault on Thaeth. The adventure begins at the start of a surprise attack by the human-dominated kingdom of Voragos against the important ports and coastal cities of the ancient xenophobic elf empire of Nilethir. Seeking dominance over the seas for their burgeoning mercantile interest, King Livius has called for all those loyal to the crown to turn their ire towards the elves across the sea. He spoke of great riches and magical artifacts hoarded by the elves in their forest cities. He called the elves arrogant, their armies unused for ages and unprepared, their coast ripe for pillaging. Opilius, a general in Livius's armies, was one of the first to answer the call. Known for equal parts cunning and viciousness, Opilius was notorious in the northern frontier of the kingdom. A master of strategy and a capable warrior, he fearlessly led his soldiers into battle after battle, conquest after conquest. His bravery bordered on zealotry and seemed to be contagious, and inspired many to follow him. Even amongst the peoples he had defeated and subjugated, some survivors would rise to fight alongside him, to bask in his fervor and to join in his conquests. It is said that he and his troops subdued over 24 tribes of men, dwarves, goblins, gnomes, and halflings. Seeing the king's call as his next great adventure, and eager to test his mettle against more organized, well-trained opponents, Opilius left the frontier to head on to the capital and prepare for the invasion of Nilethir. He took with him 6 of his most capable soldiers and picked up other capable warriors and sages along the way. The campaign begins on Opilius' boat heading towards the Elven port town of Thaeth. How your character fell in with Opilius and ended up here on the ship is up to you, but we're all on the boat already heading off. It is roughly a week-long journey at sea until you get to the port, and your characters have time to get to know each other and some of the other characters on the boat along the way. So, going around the table, I guess we're going to introduce the characters. So we'll start with Frankko. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, Frankko was or still considers himself a performing artist who just hasn't caught his big break. So basically he, because he was never getting parts, he went into doing his own solo acts, which were kind of this weird mix of musical instruments and puppetry, and kind of like a comedic style to it. But even that he was still struggling with. So he ended up joining the army for a bit just to make some coin, and kind of looked at it as an opportunity to hone his physical skills, keep himself in shape for his future performances. But early on in his training, he was basically discovered as one of the theater by his crew, and they relegated him to band duty, and so he never actually got to fight, which he was deeply bitter about afterwards. So hearing this call, he came on and kind of wants to give it another shot to really get the full experience, and thinking that these dangers and adventures will really help improve his theatrics, and kind of he can really incorporate it with his work. So one thing that I'll mention, just so it'll make a little bit more sense when you guys see it, he has a gauntlet that he customized into a puppet that he uses to demoralize his. So when you see me speaking with my hand, that's what that will be.
All right. And just some general questions too in addition to that. when you have this week on the boat, are you chatty and making conversation with the others, or are you more standoffish and keep to yourself?
Chatty.
Okay. And do you consider yourself to be aggressive and confrontational, or are you genial and looking to make friends on the trip?
I would say friendly.
All right. And were you with the original group of troops before they head to the capital, or were you picked up along the way? I think the former, based on what you said, but
like with this particular army or whatever.
With Opilius' army as he was going through the north. Like, are you an old soldier in his army, or are you a somewhat new recruit?
No, the former crew was a different one.
Got it.
So this is kind of like a fresh start.
Understood.
Ideally.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Next is Squirrel.
All right. So Squirrel is a lover of nature, but not in the protective sense. He is a lover of the treasures and finding those treasures in nature for his own gain. So he has trained extensively, and particularly with his crossbow, and he has used those skills, honed those skills to study all sorts of different prey that he has hunted for, all with the idea that while they do fascinate him, he wants them as trophies and things to sell, and has been particularly intrigued by the promise of more adventures for magical items and magical things that he thinks he can find along the way. So he is, I think, new to this group. Usually he's on his own, tends to sneak around by himself in the forest. In fact, from a young age, he was always good at sneaking and finding things, which earned him the name he still goes by to all he meets. So.
All right. And same questions as before. Are you chatty, or do you keep to yourself on the boat?
No, he's more keeps to himself.
Okay. And when people try to engage you, are you genial, or are you aggressive and standoffish?
No, genial. So he's kind of good with animals, although he's always looking at what they can do for him. But he's better with animals than he is with people.
All right. And were you part of the original troop of Opilius' army?
No, he just hooked on because of the promise for magical treasures to find along the adventure.
Okay.
Along the attack.
All right. Next, is it Puck or is it Pook?
Sure. Puck was what I was going
Puck.
for.
It is Puck. All right, tell us about Puck.
All right. Well, Puck was picked up in the last town that the ship dropped by, where the human barber had recently died of some unknown cause, and a strange goblin had arrived in town a few days before. Desperation caused the people to seek haircuts with a goblin where they might not otherwise due to racial prejudices. And the haircuts were found to be exceptional, albeit a very strange experience. When the general came into the harbor requiring barber services, he was recommended and was also discovered to have a dab hand at medicine, although was not frequently mentioned or discussed. Was primarily hair focused. And no one has cut elf hair.
No one you know of, yeah.
No one. Yeah, it's unheard of. So the opportunity, the prophetic haircut given to the general showed him, the hair showed him that he needed to follow, and the general would lead him closer to enlightenment.
Haircutting enlightenment.
Yes. Well, he receives spiritual messages when giving haircuts.
Yes.
Or he believes he does.
And Puck
It's
is
like
probably,
healing.
yes.
From an entity beyond space and time. Communicates to him
Through the hair.
through the hair.
Yeah.
Specifically the cutting.
the way they fall, the way they
Yeah,
the
it's
drift.
yes, it's
Like you said, it's spiritual.
indeed. I would say generally withdrawn. He tends to find himself like a small corner or crevasse of some sort and hide in there. If confronted, I would say generally genial, unless somebody tries to extract him from his space or ask something that, very little interest in pursuing any conversation as it doesn't pertain to the cosmos or hair.
All right. And were you part? You were not part of the original thing because you were picked
Not
up
part
along
of the
way.
original. Right. Very recent.
All right. All right. And Gerhardt, aka
T-Pain. Gerhardt is on this journey because he is tasked with international trade for his tiny island. His island is named Zio. It's a population of 1,000 people. They largely sell tropical fruits and fish and stuff. And, they need stuff because they're an island. So he basically, he follows the road wherever it goes. He follows the boats specifically, sail. So he boats around and tries to set up trade routes. He explains to the party that he has studied bardism and is a bard. And I'm going to try this auto tune thing one more time. Oh, come on, here we go. This is good. No, hang on. Give me like 2 seconds of rest. No. Yes. No.
No, you just got like an echo.
No. Yeah. No, it's still an echo.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit like auto-tune. Is that how your
You're
bard
getting there.
sings? You're getting there.
I'm getting there. Okay, so for now he said you can sing like this.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And
as he sings, you guys, I'm sure, get inspired.
you're sure.
You don't even know me, and I'm sure you get inspired.
Yeah. Do you sing a lot on the boat?
I sing a lot on the boat. I sing a lot about the island. I sing a lot about, and I can only sing in auto-tune, though I'll spare the viewers that.
Something happened to poor
So,
T-Pain.
yeah, he does a nat 20, and he just sings basically all the time, and everybody loves it.
All right, and same questions. Are you chatty or drawn away from people?
Chatty, but to the point. He basically quickly tries to ask you if you can help with international trade, and if the answer is no, then if you don't want to stay in the conversation, he leaves. He doesn't try to draw it out.
And I assume, based on that, you're genial in trying to make friends. You're not aggressive and snapping at people.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And I would ask for a haircut if he was cutting hair, 100%.
Do you have hair as a goblin? Because many of us do not.
His token does.
I seem to have a man bun, so yeah.
All right. Very good.
I have a man
bun. All right. And you were picked up along the way. You're not from his original thing. You're from an island, and you get sucked up in somehow. Okay.
I basically just hopped on. I'm literally following the winds.
Okay. So everybody, toss me a diplomacy check. Is it called diplomacy in Pathfinder? I think it's toss me a diplomacy.
Yes.
Go ahead. Just see how you get on with the goblins and the other people in the crew.
Wow, we are not rolling well.
Well, you rolled a 20 to start, so.
Yeah.
Oh, so where's diplomacy? Sorry, utility?
Skills.
It's under skills if you click on yourself.
Oh, skills. Thank you.
The HUD.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We all suck.
we are annoying goblins on this shit.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm at least in character.
Yeah. Your song was well received throughout the entire time of the journey, but in general, none of you have made any friends on the boat.
Like Justin Bieber, you're like on the charts, but nobody actually wants to hang out with you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You need a little.
So Squirrel, while you're on the boat, you notice that there is a human woman who identified herself as Tana, and she's sitting next to her on the boat, most of the time she has like something, like a box or something. It's covered with a cloth. And you heard what sounded like a bird to you. So, being inquisitive and not very diplomatic, you kind of just lifted up and peeked under there, and you saw that she
Sounds
had.
like me.
Yeah, you had 4 pigeons. Oh, she had 4 pigeons in a cage, and as she catches you, she snaps at you and says, "These ones ain't for eating, you dagger-teeth greenskin."
I just wanted to check them out. I've seen quite a few of these before, and I just wanted to see what you got. I wasn't going to eat one, unless it was really good looking. So why are you carrying around 4 pigeons?
It's like, these ones carry messages. You do that, your people do that.
I've seen those before, tasted a few myself. They can be good, but kind of scrawny.
But keep your mouth
Where are
away
you
from
sending
these
the
ones.
messages? Where are you sending the messages?
Wherever Opilius tells me to.
Oh, where did the last one go out?
I haven't gone out. We've just been keeping them since we took him back from Livia.
Gotcha.
And yeah, none of you rolled exceptionally well, so you don't have many more interactions with people. Especially 2 of you were kind of reluctant to talk to people to begin with. But yeah, based on those rolls, Gerhardt, after a couple of days on the boat, Opilius, the general taking you across the sea, comes over and tries to take you aside.
Okay. Quick question. The boat is like a mix of races?
The boat is about 60 people, and it is a mix of races. So there's about 25 humans, like majority of the boat. There's 10 or so dwarves. Most of you are goblins, so there's about 10 goblins.
Okay.
And like half orcs, halflings, and gnomes. It's a mix. There are no elves. Critically, because I didn't cover the whole backstory for anybody who happens to be watching. Critically, there are no elves here. Elves have their own xenophobic empire, which you are invading at the point. So it's a mixed race, but no elves.
Gerhardt sings about elves, though, because he has seen elves seldomly coming to his island for some fruit.
Oh, what do you sing about elves?
Their pointy ears, their nice boats, their big bows, those kind of things.
Okay.
Like sea shanties. He tries to sing sea shanties about
Okay.
elves.
That's very interesting, and we'll get back to that in a minute. But Opilius wants to take you over to the side now.
Hello, sir.
And he looks down at you, and he looks around to make sure no one else is around and listening. And he says, "What do you think about the other greenskins? What do you make of them?"
Some are for trade and some are not for trade.
For trade? He raises an eyebrow.
Oh, not slaves. Like they want stuff. They're here for money. They're here to work.
Are they here to fight?
Yes, work is fight. Fight is work.
Yeah, and you think they can? You think they've got it in them?
We goblins are born to fight.
And he nods to that and strokes his beard. And he says, "From what I've seen, your kind tend to follow the meanest, baddest gobbo in eyeshot. Is that you?"
Meanest? No, I don't know who that is. Maybe the guy with the scissors.
He looks at the barber.
The barber is very dangerous. Let me tell you.
You see 2 blue points of light peering out from a crack in the.
Oh, we got the scissors.
Yeah.
Because it's too early to say. We haven't fought in an arena together yet.
He says, "Really? You think he's the one? Is he the one you would follow?"
No, that's a trick question. I follow you.
And he shakes his head. He's like, I know you're all here for... You followed me here. I understand that. But when the shit hits the fan, gobbos, they like glue together. They look for the biggest, baddest goblin out there, and they follow them. I know that. And I'm afraid that when the shit hits the fan, they're going to turn to their goblin. They're going to turn to their kin. And who are they going to turn to? When the shit hits the fan, when you're out there, arrows are flying, who are you looking at?
That is a good question, sir. Do you want to be someone specifically?
No, he's getting frustrated.
What I'm learning is it's not you.
I'm not here to fight people. I'm just here to make trade.
Well, you're gonna be fighting people.
I understand. That's part of trade. I understand this part of trade. He strokes his leg and he says, "Listen, whatever you want, buddy."
he shakes his head and he throws your hand off of his leg, and he is going to find somebody else. So this is Opilius. It's a picture of Opilius. He's exceedingly frustrated with you now.
Okay, fair enough. He looks pretty serious. I'm not gonna lie. And Gerhard goes over and just starts like singing and bounding off things on the ship. He actually works on the ship. Like whether people tell him or not to, he like knows how to operate it.
So you're actually contributing on the ship.
I'm contributing. Yeah.
And it's very welcome. You can tell that although these people are sailing proficiently and are going where they intend to go, that everybody here is somewhat new. Sailing in general is new to the human kingdom, and they appreciate your help even if they don't outwardly show it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, surprisingly, Puck the Barber was the next most diplomatic in his stay, so Opilius comes over to the two blue points of light in the crevasse, and he says, "Barber, are you in there?"
What does the hare want?
And you've been talking in that way the whole time, yes? He's expecting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is normal.
Okay. Is he used to it at this point?
Yeah, he's talked to the barber for weeks at this point, so this is how the barber talks. So he says, "I was talking to the one over there, the singer. He says you're the big goblin to look out for. Is that true?"
The hare tells me much.
Does the hare tell you that the other goblins would listen to you?
We must consult their hare to know that answer.
Some of them don't have hair. He looks over his shoulder at some of the other goblins. What do you make of that?
They cannot be known.
Yeah, so he's getting weirded out by the conversation, and he's looking around.
I think he's correct.
Yeah, so he's stroking his beard and looking down at you and your blue glowing eyes, and he shakes his head, and then he heads over to Squirrel. Because Squirrel got a bonus for being the strongest one of you, so he actually does beat Frankko. And so he goes over to Squirrel. What is Squirrel doing as he walks over? What is Squirrel doing to occupy himself?
Well, there aren't many animals on the ship, so he keeps eyeing those pigeons, and he's trying to come up with a way that he's going to lift one of them.
So you're eyeballing the pigeon, the covered pigeon cage, and the general comes over to you. He says, "Squirrel, is it?" Squirrel, is it?
Yeah. That's me.
He looks over and he asks you the same question he asked Gerhard. He says, "What do you make of the other greenskins? They good for fighting?"
I got the same question that you got. I look around. I don't know what to make of this lot. I usually stick to myself, but I'm looking forward to that first fight. See who's actually going to hold their stuff. Then maybe we'll figure out who the leader is.
It's like, and you have no gut feeling on that now?
Those scissors look really sharp from the barber. That's all I've been saying. He's got a weird twinkle to those blue eyes.
He looks back again at the 2 points of light in a crevasse. He's kind of found like a little stuff on the ship, and he's kind of just jammed himself in there with his rubbery hide. He says, I figure when we're on that battlefield, he's either stabbing someone else or himself. I don't know what's going to go done with those scissors. He's like, I don't see. Really? You think he's the one?
I don't know, man. I'm keeping an eye on him. Let's just put it that way.
Huh.
Also, do you know the lady with those pigeons? You got any
Tana?
any
Yeah.
idea about what she's up to later? Maybe might be leaving those pigeons lying around.
Why? What's your interest in the pigeons?
Well, sir, if there's morale problems on the ship, I can actually teach those pigeons to do tricks. Wouldn't that be a cool thing if I had those pigeons instead of her?
No, they're very well trained at what they do. What sort of tricks would you be teaching them?
No, flying through the air and special patterns. Whatever would float your boat. Maybe you'd like to see them, all get in a line and hop on each other's backs. That sounds fun, right?
He smirks and says, "It does, but it's not really what we're here to do, and I don't want to break their old training."
No, all right, fair enough. I guess you're in charge.
So he looks back at Puck over there, and he's confused as ever. And he says, "Do you think you'd be able to give the goblins orders? You think they'd listen to you?"
Wait, he's talking to Puck or he's talking to
No,
me?
he's talking back to you. So he looked at Puck, he came back to Squirrel. Apologies.
Oh, well, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty handy with this crossbow. If I tell them to, move out of the way, they'd better, because definitely that bolt's gonna be coming over their shoulder. So I think they might listen to this, and I pat my crossbow that's sitting in my lap.
All right. He nods and he appreciates that, and he gestures some of the other goblins. So there's you four and the other 4 players that aren't here tonight. There's an alchemist, a sorcerer, a champion, and a barbarian. So he points out all of them, especially even the barbarian and Karen, the champion. And he points to them and says, like, when we get to the port, I want my savages to lead the charge. I need someone to guide that ferocity. Make those pointy-eared fuckers shit themselves when they see what's about to happen to them. Can you do that? Can you herd these cats? He points to all the goblins.
I think I'd rather be behind them shooting over them. You should send in that champion and that barbarian first, and I'll pick off right as they, stream in.
He nods. He's like, all right. You think if you gave him the order to run in first, would they listen?
I think once they can see what I can do with this crossbow, yeah.
All right.
They just might.
He nods and says, well, try throwing your weight around on the ship for the next couple of days. See if anybody fancies themselves better than you.
All right.
All right. So the next question is, do you try to throw your weight around and intimidate other goblins or make them listen to you in any other way?
I think Squirrel would try a little bit. He's awkward at these encounters in general, but he's not interested in being the first one in the battle. He wants to sit back, so if orders will get that accomplished, I think he'd give a run at it.
Okay. So just how at a high level does Squirrel do that? Like when you're interacting with all the other goblins, how do you impress upon them that you are bigger and badder than they are?
I think it's crossbow tricks. That's what I'm thinking he's gonna reach for, because he's an ace with the crossbow.
All right.
So I think maybe kind of tossing things up in the air and pegging it with the bolts, just like I'm envisioning like in a western. When you're showing off gun tricks, he's doing that with his crossbow.
All right. Yeah, I guess just make an attack roll. Just go ahead and roll an attack roll. I don't think anything else is. You don't have perform or anything cool like that. So go ahead and make an attack roll, and we'll see how well you perform. Hopefully you don't embarrass yourself. Not so great. Yeah, so you.
I meant to hit that post and not the can. That was just a practice.
Yeah, so you begin talking up your abilities a bit, and some of the goblins get interested, some of the other people on the boat also get interested, and you embarrass yourself. You don't hurt yourself or do anything terrible, but you do not manage to impress people with your crossbow skills.
Does Gerhardt see?
I talked to my crossbow and we got it next time.
Does Gerhardt see the general being frustrated trying to find the leader?
Yes. Yeah. Assuming you didn't just walk away and ignore him. Yes. He talked to you first.
No, I keep an eye on him. I run up to him and I stroke his leg again. Very lovely.
He doesn't like this. he kicks you away as you stroke his leg. What?
I say, hey, what about the guy with the sword, the swashbuckler? He looks like a swashbuckler. I've sailed on many a ship, and I think that guy can lead your charge.
Him? And he eyeballs him.
And he points at him. Yes, him.
The one with the... And he moves his hand a little bit.
The one with the yeah. I mean, that weirds all of us out, human or goblin. You know?
All right.
And,
He shrugs and says, "All right," and he works his way through all the goblins on the boat.
He's having second thoughts about his choice of crew at this point.
As he walks away, he taps him on the bum and says, "You got this. You got this."
He does not like that either, but he ignores it. And he walks over to Frankko. And he says, "You, what's your name?"
So at the moment, Frankko will have like a rope strung up that he was climbing, so he'll kind of like come down from it. Wait, what was the question?
Your name?
Oh,
Were you
Frankko.
And he looks back at all the other goblins and sighs as he turns back to you. And he says, "Who do you think here would be a chief if all the goblins here were out in the jungle? Who would be the chief?"
The chief?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Who? If all the goblins, just the goblins here, and he points to all of them, said, "Who's the biggest, baddest goblin here? Who would all the other goblins follow?"
I don't know. You need somebody to be a chief?
He nods, and he says, I need my teams to operate independently in addition to following orders. I need a top goblin. I need a command goblin." And he gestures to the three others he's talked to. He says, "None of them seem to be able to do it."
So Frank's eyes will open wide, and he'll be like, wait, are you offering a lead role?"
He looks at you curiously and says, "Yes." It's an odd way to state it, but yes.
I mean, I can play anything. You need me to be a chief, I'd be a chief.
He looks back at the others and he says, you think they'd follow you? You think they'd be afraid of you? They'd listen to you?"
I think once they see how I demoralize others, they might be willing to run in there.
Oh, okay. And he gestures to some of the stronger ones. And you think in a stand-up fight, you think that you could beat them or cow them?
I mean, I think once they see the enemy dressed down, their instincts will take over, right?
He says, "Yeah, instincts. That's what I'm afraid of and hoping for here. I fought goblins before, and I know what happens. Their morale breaks like a twig, and once it's gone, they scatter. And we can't have that here."
I mean, I don't know these guys. I don't know what they're gonna do, but if this is the part you need played, like, I got this. I can be a chief.
He nods, and he gives you the same sort of task as he gave to Squirrel. He says, "Well, then I need you to start throwing your weight around. I need you to test this out. I need to make sure that when you start barking orders or you start telling people to do things, they don't snap back at you. Think you can do that?"
Sure. If that's what you need, I'll be that guy.
Okay. He nods and lets you go about it, having seen everybody else push away, shirk this responsibility, or fail at doing it. He lets you get at it. So how would you, over the next day or so, try this out? How would you test the waters?
I mean, I think Frankko would basically try to do his little taunt to, like, make somebody feel bad about themselves, and then be like, see, look at him, look at how weak he is. You could get him now, couldn't you?
Just for the record, with the puppet?
With the puppet. With the puppet.
Of course.
Classic military training technique.
What's the puppet look like?
Well, it's like a leather gauntlet that just has like a
A pair of eyes.
kind of the equivalent of like a googly eye thing. Like, it's a ridiculous looking puppet. It's purposely supposed to be dumb.
Does it have hair?
Sure. Yeah, it'll have
Critically important, yes.
Just
red puppy hair.
filing that away.
So he'll like do his little taunt, make somebody feel bad, and then kind of go to the barbarian like, look at that guy, right? Like, you could take him now, couldn't you?
All right, toss me is an intimidate check. Yeah, that's what you do.
But yeah, it's one of the things. Yeah.
All right, well, toss me whatever one you want to do. We'll see how well you perform.
Sure.
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah, acceptable. All right, yeah. So you do manage to kind of ruffle some feathers on the ship and encourage the goblins that, hey, you seem to know what you're doing, and you're dressing down some of the other people. Are you trying to intimidate like other non-goblins, or are you intimidating other goblins? Who are you intimidating?
It would probably be non-goblins.
Okay. All right, so you're basically like mocking and intimidating them, and you're making the other goblins laugh with you, and that's building some sort of solidarity. So that is acceptable. And Opilius, after a day or so, seems kind of content that the other goblins seem to be acknowledging you, if not as a chief, at least as someone to be listened to.
Are people frustrated with our presence on the boat?
Yeah, well, yeah. So again, you rolled very poorly diplomatically in the beginning, and goblins are already thought of as lesser sort of things. You're not, again, they're not like outright racist against you, but you know, goblins have a history in the world, and you're not really helping your reputation.
Yeah, we're confirming stereotypes here.
Yeah, understood.
So, one of the things that Frankko would be doing on the boat, he has a fishing pole that he brought with him.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be trying to catch fish and like share that with others to just get some of the other people to not have with others, him, and by extension his growing party as much.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Yeah, we could do that. Would be was it in Pathfinder 2? Was it survival?
Nature?
I think survival.
Nature would be about knowing things. Survival would be about doing things, as far as I'm aware. So you can try. I don't think unless you have a special skill. I guess you could use a sailing lore skill to see if you can get a bonus to survival to catch fish.
Yeah, I mean up to you how you want to do it.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a sailing lore and then roll a survival check.
Can I help it?
No. Yeah, so you know nothing about fishing.
Yeah.
Ah.
What does he lose? The pole or something?
Well, that was just to see what he knows about fishing at open sea like this, and he doesn't know anything. But Gerhard knows a good deal, so he sees you whip out the fishing rod, and what happens?
So Gerhard takes the fishing rod like privately from him, and he just goes and starts like catching a few fish. He gives it to him, and he says, "Take the spotlight."
Well, you got to make a survival check to actually catch the fish. So
Okay,
you just get you have a bonus to catching the fish because you know how to.
Do I have any hero points, by the way? Do I? Not yet, right? You don't start with hero points?
You start with 1 every session.
Can I use a hero point to make this a better roll?
No, you just re-roll, as all hero points do. You can re-roll a roll if you fail it.
Oh, God. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to re-roll that. So he almost falls into the ocean with the rod.
9 isn't that terrible, but go ahead.
9 isn't, yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll take 11.
Yeah, that's better than 9. So yeah, so you do catch a moderate amount of fish. So you're not like impressing anybody with your fishing skills, but you are able to catch fish in the open sea. And you give them to Frankko?
I give them to, what's your name, sir?
Frankko.
Frankko, okay, good to meet you, man. I'm from Zio, and I'm here to spread international trade. And as part of our token of good gesture and faith of trade, take these fish and take the spotlight. And he gives him back the rod, and he says, "Call me anytime." And the rod's like a little busted, still works, but it's real fucked up. And he runs off.
And before he leaves, Frankko would be like, "Hey, man, I heard you sing, by the way. I've heard a lot of people sing in my life, and I've never heard a voice like that. I got to tell you, I'm kind of impressed."
Oh, thank you. I was just born with it, I guess. I got lucky, you know.
It's unique, maybe a little niche, but unique.
Do
really special.
Do you like to sing?
I sing.
Well, damn, dude, don't be a stranger. You know, we can go get a good sing on later, and when we land and clear some bodies off the beach,
we'll sing about it.
We'll sing about it, and then he gets really excited and he runs off.
All right. So you've provided some fish to the boat, and that gains you a little bit of support from the others, especially other humans and dwarves and stuff who don't think much of you at this point. They enjoy fresh fish. And you're sailing for about a week, and you're now about a day out from the port of Thaeth, where you're headed. And Opilius raises everybody and tries to get you all to come and listen. He walks up to a frail, pale-skinned, blonde man and claps him on the shoulder so hard he almost falls out of his seat. And he says, "This here is Orin. He's our elf expert. He's told me all about them. He's helped me draw some basic maps. Not many people have been to the Elven territories, but we've got a genuine expert here." And he claps him again on the shoulder, and you can watch the guy shake under the weight of the hit. And he says, "We're going to take this port, the port of Thaeth. It's a small port, the westernmost port of Nilethir. Can't be more than 200 people in the town attached to it." He says, "It's strategic for one reason alone. It's the last port of call before the long journey to the southern colonies of the Elven Empire. So pretty much all trade north and south goes through this port, and we're going to take it first." And he looks around at everybody to see if they understand and are okay with that sort of idea.
That's what we're here to do. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So, sensing that that's okay, he's like, "Okay. What do you all know about elves?"
Do we have to
I know that they like tropical fruit.
Orin looks up at you. "What do you mean?"
They like fruit. You know, gimbleberries and schnoz berries, those kind of things.
And so you hear some people murmuring, "Who doesn't like fruit? What is he?" And Orin's like, "How do you know this?"
You know, trade. I'm a trade guy. I trade people. You trade elves. Elves' money is money. You know, money is money, bro.
And there's audible gasps around the ship, and Orin stands up to ask you, but Opilius stops and says, "You trade with elves?"
You know, they have seafaring elves. Elves that really don't really live out of home.
And this is shocking to them, because there's no actual trade or diplomacy or anything between the human kingdom and the elf empire, because the elves are dismissive of everybody. They basically assume that they are the only empire in the world, and everybody else are just barbarous hordes all around them. So hearing you trade with elves, you've kind of sparked up some interest. And Orin, you can tell that Orin wants to talk to you. But before he can do that, Opilius stops and tries to just take control of the conversation and says, "Do you know of their arrogance?"
Yes.
so you know they are dismissive of all their races, consider us barbarians or animals?
Oh, they sling racist terms at us all the time. About all of us. I have songs about it if you'd like to hear something.
You have songs about them slinging racist terms at you?
Yeah.
Who would write such a song?
Songs carry history, you know?
Then yes, then you know that they think they are the only people who matter in the world, the only ones capable of doing great things.
Yes, absolutely. They are arrogant and they are out for themselves, but they have pleasures just like the rest of us.
Opilius, he laughs and he says, yes, and this hubris you know of, it will be their downfall. They do not believe that you or I are able to do the things that we are about to do. They do not just doubt our ability, they cannot fathom our ability. They cannot conceive of a world where people like us could pull ourselves out of the mud and actually challenge them. And Orin looks back at you, your heart.
He says, you know, I tried to apply to their school for bartering, and they rejected me on race.
Again, more audible gasps. What do you mean you applied to their school? How did you... What are you talking about?
Listen, they come in their boats, they talk, they stay for a while, they talk about sending their kids to school. Eventually, over the years, my father realized there's a school there in their capital of... Joe, I don't have that, if you can help me real quick.
Oh, I don't know the guy who's Nilethir.
You told it to me before.
I forgot.
And they talk about their schools and their capitals, and I really wanted to go. My father tried to talk to one of the elves about getting me in, and then the racist song about elves was born.
So Orin is incredulous. How much time did you spend with these elves?
Me, not much. My father, a lot.
And they came to your island, and he thinks for a moment. Zenio? Zio.
Dead.
Why? Why did they come there?
For fruit. Gimbleberries.
They could not get this fruit elsewhere?
Not how we have it.
Alright, so again, he's incredulous. He doesn't understand what's going on. And he's beginning to think that you might be lying.
Listen. They don't buy, like, a box of gimbleberries. They're buying, like, crates and crates of gimbleberries. We will do business with these people. You know?
So Opilius looks back at Orin, and Orin looks back at Opilius, and he's shaking his head. He's assuming you're lying. That there's no way that what you could be saying is true. He assumes you're, like, spinning a yarn. So Opilius continues. He says, "These elves would not hesitate to slit the throats of everyone you love if it got them something they wanted or needed. They would not think twice. To them, it would be like sticking a pig. They are monsters, and they are not worthy of mercy." And he looks over at everybody to, again, size up if anybody seems to be objecting to that at all.
Gerhard is nodding.
And they shall have none.
He nods at the barber. So he gave his speech. He has done his attempt to otherize the elves. And he reiterates the objective to seize the port, take the adjoining town of Thaeth, and secure the surrounding forest. He adds that some elves just live in the forest. Like, they commune with nature, and they just love living in trees. It's like, and Orin is nodding all along, like, yes, elves love their trees.
Just like they love their boats.
And so the goal is to do all that, and then send word back to the capital once successful, and then it is hoped and expected that colonists and other soldiers will be sent to occupy the town. This strike team, this small strike team, is just to crack the nut, get it going, and then you'll move on to something else bigger and better after this. This is the first strike of many in the king's plan. So you need to take the town and hold it until the other colonists and soldiers arrive.
Joe, can we take a 20-second water break?
Sure. Yep, everybody can take a quick bio break. We'll be right back.
Her!
do this.
All right. Yep. So Opilius assures you that tomorrow we will reach the port. And you guys are left to do anything you like. Are you preparing anything special?
Who looks like the best fighter on the ship, like across all the races, the humans and the dwarves? Are there like 2 or 3 standouts?
Well, Opilius is a very skilled warrior himself. He has a very big sword on his back, and you've heard tales of him. Even if none of you have served with him, but on the boat, people would have told you of all the things he's done. He is definitely the most capable warrior among them all. He's got that big sword and also a longbow on his back. Of the goblins, I think currently Karen is the most well-trained fighter. I'm not sure how much of you've seen of her, but she definitely carries herself as a fighter. And Even is just huge, and he has the sharpest teeth of any goblin you've ever seen. He wrote a backstory on Discord. I don't know how much he would have shared with anybody, but if you overheard stuff, and you probably did because his dwarf friend is also here. His name is Auric, the dwarf that kind of hired him into the company. Auric would have told you his name is Even because he eats everything, even the bones. And he described all these scenes where he just bit into a guy's arm and ripped the bone apart. So he is a tenacious fighter as well. Are you looking for a specific reason? Why are you asking about fighters?
No, just curious. If I guess we're storming a beach, I'm wondering which of the humans are going to charge.
Correct. Yes. There are a bunch. Oh, you don't believe Orin is going to charge. He's bookish, lanky, frail with blonde hair. So he doesn't seem to be one that's storming. He has a spear with him and he has a shield. But he doesn't look very much for fighting. Auric, the one I just told you about, the dwarf, he does seem to be he knows how to carry himself. He's got a bow on his back. He seems to be some sort of a hunter. There is a gnome named Brunwalt, who is beefy for a gnome, and he has several daggers on his side. And there are a bunch of half-orcs, which are all just beefy by virtue of being half-orcs. They're larger than any of the other people on the ship. There's 2 men and 3 women, and they all seem like they could throw down in a fight if they had to. And presumably will have to. Alright, anybody doing anything else special for the night before the assault?
Puck will approach Orin at some point when he's by himself. And ask him what he knows of the elf hair.
He says they often wear it long. It comes in various colors, but more often than not blonde. Silver. He
Puck
stammers
nods
for
gravely.
And he says it is as delicate as silk. And as soft as well.
Yeah. Satisfied, he wordlessly turns and returns to his crevasse.
And Orin looks confused. He was very happy to talk about elves as if this is the defining thing about him, and he was very happy he's pleased with being asked about them and happy with his answers. And then as you walk away, he seems a little disturbed, but still riding the high of being questioned as the elf expert.
Okay, Squirrel wants to take a run at those pigeons. That's
What's your move, Squirrel?
Okay, I got a pretty high skill of thievery, so I think he's just going for the late night. He's been scouting her out for a number of nights now, trying to figure out where she stows those birds, and he's not greedy. He's just going to try to get one of the pigeons.
Okay, and are you going to be stealthy? You want to sneak up and
stealthy?
Do the thievery?
Yeah, that's yep.
Okay, so do a stealth check and then a thievery check.
Can I see if I see this?
Oh, there we go.
Well, you can make a perception check to see if you beat his 23.
I don't think I'm going to beat that 23.
Well, you can try to see if you see this happening. No, you do not. So Squirrel is being sneaky and making a run at those pigeons.
Okay, and so now a thievery?
Yes.
Or did you want something else? Thievery?
Thievery will work, yeah.
Hey!
There you go, yeah. So you manage to sneak up, and she's asleep and does not notice, and you get over there, and you can open the cage quietly, and what do you want to do with them?
I think I'm just going to stow the pigeon for now. So I've got to, because of my animal handling capabilities, I know how to wrap it up just right, keep it calm and tucked away so that it won't be noticed unless upon close inspection.
Understood. Okay. So you are tucking away a pigeon. There you have it. Anybody else doing anything the night before the assault on Thaeth? Nope.
I continue to sing about elves, but my tunes get a little bit more aggressive.
Oh yeah? What kind of aggressive lyrics? What are you saying about those elves?
Just like how they're trying to otherize the elves, Gerhard basically sees it, and he asks, my God, I was going to call you by your other name, Jeff. He asks Frankko. He starts singing the song quietly, and he asks Frankko, "Is this okay? Do you want to spread this message?"
You mean together? Like a duet?
Oh, wow! And he blushes. He's like, "I would be honored. I didn't think so. I was just gonna, do my thing. But if you want to join me, please."
Well, I mean, it's your material. I'm not gonna, I feel like, right? This should be a two-man show, shouldn't it?
This is easy. Watch, and he'll start teaching him the lyrics, and together, I guess we will sing and.
Yep, you can both make performance checks.
Yeah. Okay. Come on.
That's a decidedly average performance. You didn't inspire anybody, but you got the message out. Again, you didn't embarrass yourself. You didn't sound terrible, but you sung adequately, but not inspiringly.
Sorry. I usually need a little bit more practice with these things. I haven't heard this one before, so
Yeah, dude, it's late. I'm not I'm not feeling it right now. The creative juices are not flowing, so it's okay. They get it. Everyone gets it. Everything's fine.
Okay. So, the next day happens, the sun rises, the weather is fine, and the ship is closing in on the port. You do see the coast of Nilethir, and you watch as the general orders them to move a bit closer to the coast. You're not at the port just yet, you're still off a ways. You see a beach with a very thick forest behind it. And as you get close to the coast, Opilius orders 10 of the soldiers on board to hop out, and he tells them, head northwest towards, you'll find the Town of Thaeth there, but I want you to clear the woods. I want you to map them. I want you to make sure nothing squirrely, and he looks back at Squirrel, nothing squirrely is going on in these woods. I want you to make sure if there's any elves hiding out there, I want to know about them, and if you got to handle them, but figure out what's going on. And he slaps them on the back, and they jump off the boat, and they slosh through the water, and they begin moving towards the forest. And you watch as this happens every couple of miles, maybe like 10, 15 miles down the line. He does it again with another 10 people. And he tells them the same basic thing. This is the direction to the Town of Thaeth. I want you to map this forest. I want to know everything about this forest. I want to know where all the rivers are. I want to know where the fallen trees are. I want to know where you spot elves. And sends them off. And he does this 4 times. So 40 of the 60 people he's brought are now in the forest, mapping it out and figuring it out, leaving just 20, including all of you, to take this port. How does everybody feel about that?
Are we being dropped off in the forest, or literally at the port?
He is approaching the port. So the boat is now moving towards the port, and you can see the building. There's visible docks and stone buildings.
And do we see any people, like guards or anyone
any visible defenses
that looks like a threat?
You guys can all make a perception check. Ooh, Gerhard, look at you.
Gee,
Okay, so somebody help me out. Where's perception?
Under
Skill?
skills.
Attributes.
Oh,
I found
oh,
it.
I see. They moved it.
Attributes.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's not a skill in Pathfinder, so that's right. Okay. So, Gerhard, Frankko, and Squirrel, but not Puck, all of you see a single person on the docks seem to be moving boxes around. And the dock is not very big. You think there's only like 3 or 4 slips on the dock? There's one primary building that is attached to kind of this raised stone landing. And you see no...
And
Go ahead.
you said person. I assume it's an elf, yes?
I mean, you're far away at this point, but yes, presumably it is an elf. It is of elfish size and lankiness.
Do I see any guard towers, anything like that?
There are no guard towers. Again, there is this one stone building which is 10 feet high, and it has on it this big wooden structure, but if you're concerned about it being a weapon, it is not. It appears to be some sort of like a crane that is used for the moving of cargo.
In general, they really don't do much trade here. It's 2 or 3 slips, one guy moving boxes, and one crane.
Yeah, so again, your vision is impressive, Gerhard. And Orin, he nods and says, yes, they don't see a whole lot. It is the last port of call, as we've said, but they don't see a lot of trade all at once. It's mostly just for resupplying the last time before they go for a long sea journey.
So are we to murder this guy on the dock, too?
And Opilius says, yes, show them no mercy.
Even the civilians?
These are your enemies. This is what we're here to do. We're here to take this dock.
Right. Okay. And I'll run over to Frankko and just say, hey, like that guy there, when we land, we're going to kill him.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's why we're here, yeah?
Okay, yeah. That's why we are here. And
Yeah.
he,
We're going to sing songs about it after.
yeah, song.
So
And Gerhard?
make sure we get some good material, right?
Yeah. Gerhard swallows his throat, and he's visibly a little nervous about this storming of the beach.
You haven't fought very much before, have you?
No, I fish and I trade and I sing songs. I'm really not quite the fighter type.
Well,
But-
it might be. It's good to grow into new roles,
It's good to grow into new roles. It's true, and I really like creating illusions. And he begins to show him some illusion magic. And he just says, "Tell me where to stick these things. Maybe it'll trick them, and they'll walk into their death."
That would make for a good song.
Make for a good song.
All right. So you're sailing closer and closer, and it becomes abundantly clear that the plan is just to dock at the port. Like, they're not making any odd maneuvers, they're not doing anything, they're just driving straight towards one of the slips. Does anybody have any concerns or objections?
Well, I'm certainly keeping a close eye as we get closer and closer. If there's anything that looks amiss, like we're not going to be able to do this.
You do not see anything like that. So as you're getting closer, there is a dockhand, and he begins waving to you as you're coming in. And as he does, Orin tells like all the goblins that were like, get down. And he reaches into his sack and he pulls out like a headdress, essentially, like a not a tiara, but like a headdress. He puts it on, and it has extremely long elf ears on it.
It's like a comically long.
Yeah. So, Gerhard, make a I was gonna say a knowledge check, but you don't have the relevant lore skill. So just roll a d20
Okay.
because you have actually seen elves. Yeah, so you don't know a whole lot about elves, but you know that these are way bigger than any elf here you've ever seen. Like, again, comedically large.
Garrett gets down and starts chuckling and strokes his leg, and he says, they'll never believe that. No elf's ear is that long."
They certainly are.
And he starts chuckling. and he begins to work on his illusion magic, preparing it.
He says, in elf society, large ears are seen as a sign of power, virility, and high status.
He looks down at himself and he says, "It's not a choice. It just happens, and it's not that long. It's not selected for."
And Orin, he waves his hand at you as if you don't know what you're talking about. But again, you believe everything he's just said is bullshit. But he believes everything you're saying is bullshit.
So, as a sidebar here, now that we realize the plan is deception, like, do the elves not have their own boats that they wouldn't notice this is not one of their kind of boats?
They don't seem to be objecting
I'm starting to think this might not be a good plan.
So, are you? Is that Will
headdress has
asking,
really
is that
diminished
Squirrel
my
or Will?
confidence.
What was that? Sorry.
Was that Squirrel or Will asking that question?
This is Squirrel is like looking around trying to figure out like what is this plan actually going to work?
Gerhard's like laughing and pointing at the General Orin. He's like, "This guy," and he's like pulling his ears as tall as he can.
Orin seems confident, and Opilius seems confident in Orin. That they're just going to pull up and dock here.
Okay, and I guess Puck is supposedly our local expert. I think I'd lean over and whisper to him, like, "Hey, Puck, is this going to work? Are we going to be able to pull this off?"
The single hair on top his head stands straight up and then points to the shore. He nods gravely.
All right.
All right. So they continue on. And the dockhand is waving as you approach, and then he whistles with his two fingers, letting people know that, hey, another ship has come. And Orin is up, and he's waving back.
Are there any like escape ports on this ship?
You just jump off the ship. What do you? I don't.
Okay, nothing special, nothing fancy.
No,
there's
no eject pods or anything.
Something special.
No escape pods on the ship. So
Okay,
you're pulling
no
up,
problem.
and nothing seems amiss. You seem like it's going well. He's whistled, and we will go to another map. We will activate this scene over here. Kapow. So you pull up, and you move to dock, and the dockhand over here moves up and begins mooring your boat, tying it off. And he looks up, and you hear him shouting in Elven. Does anybody speak Elven?
I'm supposed to.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, fantastic. Where did you learn Elven, Squirrel?
Well, I pick it up from here and there.
I also know Elven.
I've ventured into Elven woods before, and while I've never talked to an elf myself, I've overheard them so many times that I can understand their language.
Oh, okay. You've got some sort of a pigeon going. All right. So the dockhand is shouting, and he's saying that we weren't expecting any ships today. Where are you all from? And Orin begins to shout back. And both Gerhardt and Squirrel hear that he is not speaking Elven very well at all. He's basically speaking in archaic. He's like a lot of sounds like Middle English Elven, and he's mixing up lots of words.
Oh boy!
You idiot! I'm
for the moment, we just see the one guy. Is that right?
Yeah, you see the one guy, but he did whistle. You did hear him whistle quite loudly.
I start hitting his leg and pinching him and say, "You idiot!" And he starts saying in Elven what he's supposed to say, trying to get him to say it properly.
So
just say these things.
He hisses at you as you pinch him, and then what do you say in Elven? What do you tell him to say?
He just says, "Oh, coming from nearby, we found something amazing." And I'm saying it in Elven.
And yeah,
you the Goblin are saying it in Elven, or you're whispering it in Orin's ear? How's this going?
I'm whispering it in his ear in Elven, in Elvish, so that he can say it back, and even though he doesn't know what he's saying.
Are you trying to scare him, or are you trying to coerce him into doing that with diplomacy? Like, how are you doing that? Because he's offended that you're pinching his leg. What are you doing?
Coerce him. I willfully offended him, but I am now trying to.
Okay, so toss me a diplomacy
I'm
check.
trying to get this shit to work.
Okay, so you speak Elven, and he is somewhat surprised to hear how well that sounds. And he looks confused for a moment, but goes along with it and begins repeating what you tell him in Elven. So you tell him that you're from nearby and you found something amazing. And he shouts back, "Oh yeah, what'd you find?" And he's tying off your boat. And as that's happening, you see some doors over here open up. And 2 more dockhands come out to help with whatever needs to be doing. I can move them.
He says, send the other 2 into inland to get some more wagons. There's a lot, man. Come.
He's like, "Oh, we have wagons and the crane. It'll be fine." What have you got?
What? Are you sure you have enough barrels too? And then I start looking back to Squirrel, Puck, and Frankko, and I'm like,
No. Tell him we don't need any more help. Tell him it's a small package and to send the other hands back.
And he turns back to him and he says in Elvish, "Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? You're right. I think you're pretty tough. Or, oh, whoops! I think you're pretty big. Send the others back. You can do this. I think it's break time anyway."
And when you shout, "It's break time anyway," one of the dockhands from that just came out, he laughs and he raises a bottle. You can tell that he's already been on break time. Yeah.
And he says, "Look to the other one, and just like wave him, say, go back on break, buddy."
So you say that, and then Orin relays it, and he tries.
Yes.
That's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty decent. So so he tells them all, "Okay, yeah, go back." So one of them goes back, and the other one is too curious about what this thing you found is. So he walks over, and he's the one that's kind of staggering with the bottle in his hand, and he takes a swig of it, and he wants to see what you guys have brought.
And he turns back to the other 3 and says, "I don't know. Get ready, I guess. There's a drunk one. You can maybe pick him off."
Yeah, can I start working my way towards the front of the ship while this is going on?
If you like.
Do I need to do anything to do this stealthily?
If you want to do a stealth, you can make a stealth check, yeah. Yeah, you're fine. They do not see you.
Is it 20 or 25, or do we not care about movement rate at this point yet?
It's 25 feet you have.
Okay, cool. I think that's what I did.
Yeah, you're good. Anybody else doing anything special? This guy's finishing off tying off your boat, and the guy's coming to see what you've got.
Also add that Puck appears visibly agitated and antsy.
Can I, for not the drunk one, but the non-drunk one, can I go ahead and just ready my hunt before combat to just do the size him up now, so I don't have to spend an action on it later?
You can hunt him now. Basically, you can use the action to do it. You can, like, ready.
Oh, okay, so
yeah.
So I'll just use the hunt action now. Oh, here I can put that out.
So you kind of you peer up over the side and you begin sizing up the non-drunk dockhand in front. Dockhand number 1. All right. That's fine.
Tuck peeks over the railing and attempts to get a look at the hair of the closest individual. Dockhand number 1.
He has long silver hair.
Very good.
All right. Anybody doing anything else? Opilius is getting a little antsy, and he's looking towards you, Frankko, as if like this is the time. This is when you get the savages on the front line.
Oh, okay. So Frankko stands up and starts to, like, looks in the direction of the dockhands and starts to let out a very demeaning taunt, which will go something like, "What have we here on this dock? Some oversized humans with some undersized." and he'll, I guess, jump off onto the dock and start going for them. Is that kosher?
That's what you're into. So you're going to intimidate and then move and then
yeah.
stuff? Okay.
So I'll do the demoralize basically, which is So just so everybody knows what it is. Let's see. No, I can't find it. I guess this? Yeah. So I have to roll this.
All right, and you don't speak Elven, but you have intimidating glare. So while you're doing this, I assume you're mocking them and yeah.
Yeah. So he'd also be kind of like physically demonstrating that, like acting the whole thing out. He's
Sure.
like doing this, kind of like, yeah.
And is it a single target when you intimidate? Oh, no, I assume it is. Demoralize, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're aiming at who? Dockhand number 1.
It's got to be within 30 feet. So yeah, it's got to be that guy.
Okay. Then you have scared him. So he looks up and he's more confused. So he was staring at Orin, who's now has this weird visible helmet with giant ears on it. And he's looking up and he's more confused than anything. And then he turns to you and he seems terrified that there is a goblin on this boat with a elf.
At this point, Puck will shriek wildly and leap over the side.
All right, we will begin initiative with that. So, Frankko, you can finish your action, basically. So you intimidated him, and were you also going to jump off?
Can I swing off with my rope?
Yes.
Like swing off?
That sounds like an acrobatics check, yes. Or is it athletics?
Okay.
Probably acrobatics.
Up to you.
I'll go with acrobatics, because I don't know any better.
Okay.
All right, yeah, you do it. So go ahead and swing off with the ropes. And then,
how far do you think one could swing? Probably maybe just like to there or something.
yeah, certainly. I'd let you get off at least. Let you move your speed. You can get to there. And
Okay.
then, Puck, you can move, and then we'll roll initiative for...
I'd like to attempt to leap directly onto the individual, if possible. So we can initiative first. If
Fair enough. If that's your plan, then I agree.
yeah.
Alright.
His hair.
Yeah, so I will toggle the combat of everybody, and then I will roll... I have a button to roll NPCs, and then a button to roll people. Alright. And so if you want to see the initiative order, there's a fist on the top right side of the screen, where near like the chat, and if you right-click it, it pops out as its own little standby thing.
Nifty.
So, Opilius is going to wait to see what you all do. And Puck, you want initiative, so you can...
Fate is on our side. Yeah, so... And I'm going to fail the attack, I hope. Because
I want you to fail the jump and fall in the water.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to attempt to leap directly onto this individual here. What must I do?
It is athletics to jump, and I would say acrobatics to use the ropes of the ship to swing. Yes, you have made it. You have succeeded, and you can move to where you wish. And you are swinging directly onto them? Are you attempting to knock them over by doing this, or are you trying to just...
No, I want to land on him and then begin stabbing frantically.
All right. Go ahead and begin stabbing frantically. That is a hit. That is a crit. So this guy, again, he's looking up at Gerhardt and the little goblins peeking over the edge, and you come swinging out, and you stab him right in the neck with your barber shears. And what is your damage?
Let's see. Hold on, I've got too many monitors now. There we go. I've lost my pointer. Let's see. Oh no, that was an attack again.
That's another good hit. Damage. 3 damages. So if I come over here, I can go ahead and mash that. So he is still standing, but he is surprised. So again, you caught him in like between the neck and the shoulder, and he's just staring at you in shock.
All right.
I believe you have one more action if you want, because you
100%.
Yeah, no, that is not a hit, but it is also not a critical failure. So you stab again and you miss.
Just shrieking wildly the entire time.
So the dockhand that went back inside hears shrieking and the shouting of the dockhand, and he begins moving, but he only gets to there. He gets back out to the doorway and is looking around what the hell's going on. And He's done. Dockhand 1 goes. That's the one that just got hurt. And he turns to you, and again, he looks more confused than anything. He spends one of his actions just unsure of what the hell is going on. And since I'm a good GM, I actually do have a song for this I should have played earlier. Let's go with that. Anyway. So he turns around, he spends one of his actions just trying to understand what's going on, but seeing that there are goblins on the dock now, he tries to swing at you, Puck. So he's just gonna, he doesn't have a weapon on him, he's going to try to punch you. And he missed horribly. So he will use his last action to try to punch you again. And a 14 is also a miss. Neither of those were critical failures, just barely. So he doesn't get any of those, but he swings at you twice and he misses and begins shouting to the others. And that's his turn. So we're back, now it's Gerhardt's.
Gerhardt peeks up, and I can see Dockhand 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. Listening to the sound of Puck shrieking wildly, he uses Ghost Sound and casts it behind Dockhand 3, literally right behind him, to make him think that he's also there shrieking wildly and about to jump on his head.
Okay. I like it.
What do you need from me? Nothing?
The range is what? Like 30 feet?
30 feet.
Okay, so are you within range? Probably gotta move a bit.
I'll run forward.
Yeah, you can still do it from the boat. Yeah, so you're good. So you move over there and you cast your spell, and you hear the same sort of shrieking emanating from behind him. And you watch as he turns around and is unsure of what the heck is going on. And is that your whole turn? Ghost Sound 2 actions?
Ghost Sound 2 actions, and yeah, that's my turn actually. That's it.
Okay. And the next one is Frankko.
So Frankko will move over towards his demoralized target and will swing with a. I guess I'll just do a finisher now. So do that.
Okay, that is a hit because he's intimidated. I'm pretty sure that applies to AC as well. So go ahead.
Okay.
Heck yeah. That is a lot of damage. He takes all of it. And he is dead. So, again, he's still in shock and utter disbelief that this goblin jumped off and hit him with the shears, and you come up after intimidating him with your little puppet, and you stab him right in the chest. You go right through a rib, and he just collapses, unsure of what the hell's going on. Hello,
wow,
Naz.
is that precise strike?
What's up, buddy?
Hey now.
What's up, Naz? Jeff, is that a precise strike?
Yeah, it's like because of the intimidate. That's how I get the panache, and then that was with the precise strike. Yeah.
That was 2 actions to move and to do that. Yeah.
Correct.
So you have another action then.
Now, Frankko will start singing a very annoying song. So that is this guy.
All right.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Single enemy
So
within 30 feet.
Performance check, right?
Who are you targeting? Is it everybody or a single target?
I think it's so. Let's see, single target within 30 feet. But I don't think the other guy's. Is he within 30 feet?
He's 35.
Okay.
Yeah. So just
Yeah, and it doesn't matter because I'm not an expert, so I can only get one at a time. So yeah, I'm just doing Dockhand 2.
All right. Dockhand 2 is yes, very. The wildy, yes, extremely. So you succeed, and you rolled a 23. That is a critical success. So the target take a -1 pass penalty to perception checks and will saves for 1 minute. You have succeeded, and it's now Squirrel's turn.
Okay, so the guy was hunting is dead, so I'm going to use my hunt action, I think on Dockhand 3.
All right.
And I will. There's no cover on the boat, right? I don't know if there's any more strategic place for me to stand.
If you're standing by the edge of the boat, you can take cover, but you only get a bonus if you actually use the take cover action.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just go ahead and fire at Dockhand 3. So I will use my crossbow action.
pow. Dockhand 3, that is a hit on Dockhand 3.
Okay, so that was done with Hunt on, which means I get the ace damage.
Yes, which is...
So I'll roll that.
It goes up a
And
dice
then-
damage and has an extra 2 on it, so yes. And you rolled a Yahtzee.
And then furthermore, Hunter's Edge Precision also applies because it was the first time I hit a hunted prey this round.
Mhm.
So that's another 1d8 that I
All right,
roll.
go ahead.
I forgot where the dice are over
Yeah,
here.
there's a dice button at the bottom of the left action bar. 8!
There we
2
go.
Yahtzees! Yeah,
Nice.
he is extremely dead.
20.
So you
Okay.
sneak up, and you take your aim, you hunt him, and he's like flailing around looking for the invisible goblin that's shrieking around him, and you catch him right in the neck, and he collapses.
Okay, and I have one more action, I guess, so I will just take cover.
Okay. That is fantastic. Dockhand 2 goes, and Dockhand 2 doesn't like what he's seeing, and he's already soused. You can tell that he's a very drunk person at this point. So he uses his first action, and he throws a bottle at Frankko. He throws his empty bottle, and he rolled a 6, which is a critical failure. So the critical fumble deck says, a ranged weapon. Wrong weapon. If you made a thrown attack, you instead throw an object from your gear, determined randomly by the GM. Alright, what kind of items do they have on them? He was throwing that bottle. That's all he really has. He has an empty bottle and he has whiskey. So he throws a full bottle of whiskey instead of his empty bottle. And you watch as it crashes on the ground, it spills, and he starts cursing in Elvish about he just threw his good whiskey. So then he's going to walk up and he's going to try to punch you. He doesn't understand that, he should be doing other things. So he's going to walk up and try to punch you with his fist. Oh, and that's a crit. He rolled a 21 and it does hit. So he does manage to hit you with his fist. For 7 damage, Frankko. He's like, you made me lose my good whiskey! And he punches you. And that's his turn. And so Orin's on the boat, and Orin, you watch as Orin and Opilius are just conferring, and you're getting this suspicion that you're basically fodder to see what else comes out, as all the rest of the people haven't left the boat yet. And we're back to Puck.
Puck assesses the hair of the remaining dockhand.
This one is a golden, it's like a dirty blonde. And again, they all have long hair.
Puck's eyes suddenly appear to glow brighter, and he screams in a voice that is not his.
I will have your secrets.
And will attempt to climb up the elf's back and clup a lock from his hair.
Okay. I don't know what kind of check that is. Let's see. I want to go with athletics. 'Cause that's what you do when you grapple people. So let's say athletics. Yeah. Go for it.
So turn 1 will be the move to behind him.
Yep.
And then we'll do, let's see here.
Yes. So yeah, you get behind him, and he's so distracted and angry at Frankko that he doesn't even notice as you just jump up, grab a lock, and shear it off. And you're now holding a big chunk of elf hair.
He will scream a primal scream of victory and use the remaining turn to attempt to stab the elf.
Go for it. You can have your full attack, your max attack one. That is a hit. A regular hit. For 2 damages. Yep. Wow. He is still up. So he's shouting now. Like, so he's still drunk. He doesn't understand what exactly is happening, but people are dead and he's being stabbed in the back. And, but it's not his turn yet. It is Gerhardt's turn.
Gerhardt V-Pain starts his turn inspiring his allies, and he just begins humming in his auto-tune voice. It's like, I'll turn it on, but I don't have it perfect yet, so I won't do
Okay.
it. But I do inspire courage.
All right.
And I will. You want me to drag and drop it on everyone?
If that's easy enough to do, yeah. Or we could just remember it if you want. It's a +1 to attack rolls and damage rolls.
Oh.
Save against fear.
You just drag it from the chat. I did it on myself, but I don't have permissions on everyone else.
You dragged the little thing there. Okay.
The word, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody can do that to yourself. I see that Frankko already did it. So go ahead and just, if you see the little, looks like a suitcase or something, special effect Inspire Courage, you can just drag it onto your token. And you see a little buff icon like Frankko has over there.
And for the rest of my turn, I'm going to, it's so awesome. I'm going to use a telekinetic projectile and pick up the whiskey bottle and fling it at his head.
So you pick up the mostly shattered whiskey bottle and fling it back at him. Oh my, that is a critical hit.
Yeah, boy.
And it does this double damage in this one, so it's double damage, yeah. So you watch as he, in horror, watches as the bottle he just threw comes back up of its own volition and catches him in the face, and he collapses dead.
Yeah. That's a sweet vintage.
0 damage
All
to
right,
the party.
a bunch of unarmed people. Yes,
Yeah,
we showed them.
Yeah. That was Gerhardt's turn, and now it's Frankko's turn. So you've killed everyone you can see so far.
So I guess Frankko would look at Puck and say, "Hey, I know you do hair." Kind of gesture to his black eye. Do you also do makeup?
Puck is entirely focused on the elf hair at the moment and is playing with it in his hands.
I guess I caught you at a bad time. We'll talk. So I guess they'll just start looking around. Maybe starts going over to the open doors.
Okay. You can go ahead and move. You can take your full turn. You have a 25-foot move. So go ahead and do what you can do.
So he'd peer in the door. Do I see anything on the other side? Should I roll a perception check or something?
You can roll a perception check, and I'm gonna drag you somewhere. If you zoom out, you can see there is a kind of another version of the map that has the insides of stuff.
Yep.
So you look into there, and it is a very large warehouse. Nothing jumps out at you as being interesting, but there's lots of casks and boxes in this warehouse.
Okay. But he doesn't see anybody in it, right?
No, you see nobody in it.
Okay. So he'll look back at the crew and just yell, clear, and then start walking over to, I guess, the staircase over here. So I've done...
Wait, it's a quick side check here. Just GM. So you said the room is clear, but from Jeff's sight lines, it doesn't look like he can actually see the whole room.
That's correct. He can't see the entire room, but he doesn't see anybody in it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's being a little careless. So I'll finish out my 40 feet and then do my third move, which I guess will be another.
Yes.
Sorry.
So Jeff went in up here. If you zoom out again, it's kind of weird. There's 2 levels of the map. I'm trying to figure out a better way to do it. But basically, where that little open door icon was, that's where the stairs that Jeff is going to are. And Squirrel.
Yeah, so I guess I don't see anyone, so I'll just get off the boat. And these barrels are big enough to take cover behind these boxes and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't want to be the first to enter a room here. But I'll go scout this side of the dock over here.
Okay.
And then I'll take cover.
All right.
Can I go come in your room?
Right, so I think that's it for me, right?
Yep.
2 actions and a take cover.
Yep. And you hear from on top over here, someone shouts in Elven. They shout, "What the hell is going on out there?" And there is a foreman coming down. He needs to move to there. So he gets... I guess you couldn't see where he moved. So he's basically here. He's shouting, "What's going on over there?" And you watch as he looks out over the... I'll do this so you can kind of see him. He looks out over the edge to see what's going on, and he sees 2 bleeding dockhands. Make a stealth check, Squirrel, to see if he notices you. And I'll roll his perception publicly, why not? He does not see you. So you're hiding behind the barrels, and he's looking around, and you being... he's not even thinking about goblins. He doesn't notice you, your small body hiding behind the cask there. And he looks around, and he sees on the boat... Gerhardt, make a stealth check. I don't know, you were singing, though, or whatever you were doing. So you're kind of very much exposed, but go ahead and make a stealth check just to see. Yeah. So he sees you, and he's confused and doesn't understand, but he levels a crossbow and takes a shot at you, Gerhardt. And misses. Not critically, misses. So you watch as he runs up, shouts, and shoots a crossbow. He does not reload it. And he shouts, "We're under attack!" in Elven. And
I shout back, "No, we're not."
And Opilius has his bow out, and he takes a shot at that foreman. And he does hit the foreman. So he's still holding back the majority of his troops, but he is shooting, and he does only 3 damage to the foreman. But he does take a shot. Alright, and Puck.
How tall is this wall here?
It is 10 feet high. And
Okay.
this box is about 4 or 5 feet if you wanted to climb onto it, like as a stopgap.
Yeah, sure. Let's give it a shot.
You gotta climb?
Yeah, so we're going to try to hit the box.
Okay. And it's acrobatics if you're jumping or climbing. They're both acrobatics, so... Yeah! Heck yeah!
And then up onto the wall.
Yep, one more.
Yep.
Yep, those are both successes, not critical successes, so it takes you
All
2
right.
actions, but you can get up there, yeah. And you also see there is another dockhand up here. I'll make him visible in a second. Over there, there's another dockhand.
Is there anywhere I can cram myself in this in these boxes?
In between any of the boxes, certainly.
Yeah.
Crevasses.
We're gonna go cram in one of there.
So you climb up and you just bounce into one of the tight spaces, and the foreman is staring at you as you do this, confused. And he points to the dockhands, says, "In there, one of them went in there," and he points to the pile of boxes. And it's Gerhardt's turn.
G-Pain continues to hum, and then he starts adding in, like, layers of... And then he stabbed him in the head. And he cleared him till he was dead. And he sees what Puck is doing, and will cast a ghost sound behind the foreman up here.
Okay, and what ghost sound are you sounding?
Same thing of a screaming Puck. Coming after him, jumping on, coming after him.
All right. All right. And we'll see if he believes that in a second. The dockhand goes, and he was told that Puck is over there. So he is going to run over, and he's going to first try to see if he can find you. Yes, so he sees you crammed within the boxes, and he attempts to yank you out. And do you have a thing for that?
Yeah, I'm confident I do. I think it's like an extra and there's a major extra DC.
It's a plus 4.
Find it now.
Yeah, so you watch as he throws a box off of on top of you, and then he finds you, he grabs your clothes and tries to yank you out, but you have lodged yourself in such a way that you are just like more box than man at this point, just attached and fused.
Yeah, I scream in his face.
And he looks terrified that this happened, and he fails to dislodge you. And it's Frankko's turn.
Okay. So first of all, I mean, Frankko feels like he's walking up the right set of stairs, yeah, to where he's hearing all these sounds.
Yes.
Okay. So he'll keep heading up.
All right.
Should I come back to the map?
No, move to here. Like, figure out how many moves that was.
That's one move still.
Okay.
I have 5 more feet on my move.
Okay, so I'll move you to here. And then you have 5 feet of your move.
Yeah. So he'll poke out.
And over here in the corner, you see is a rather large bell.
Okay. So Frankko will look and see the dockhand and the foreman. And he will do, let's see, am I within range of this foreman right now? Probably not. Or am I? No, not. Okay. So he'll move a little bit closer. So let's say he gets over. We'll try to get in between the foreman and the bell.
Yeah.
So let's say there. And then he will taunt the foreman. Let's see. Yeah, how about something like, look at this guy in his fighting stance, with legs so twig-like they barely fill out his pants. Maybe try giving leg day a chance? And, we'll do this here thing.
That is a success. Just barely, yeah. But you manage, he turns around, he's staring at you, and you're talking this weird language, because he doesn't understand common. You're speaking this weird language and mocking him, and all the other goblins around you are laughing, and he definitely feels like he's afraid. He doesn't understand what's happening, and you little demons are horrifying. So he is afraid of you. You gain your panache. That is 2 moves and an action, yeah?
Yep, that's it for me.
Alright, Squirrely.
All right, let's do. I'm just gonna stand here, hunt the foreman, and take a shot.
Yep, when that foreman's out, you got a clear shot. He is hunted.
Okay.
That is a hit.
All right, and so this is for the ace damage.
Yup, jeez.
And then I also, again, because it's the first hit in the round.
Yup.
Then I also get the 1d8, which is hello. There we go.
All right, that's not a lot. That's good. Finally, you hit not a horrible number. He is still hurt though. 12 damage is a lot. So you catch him in the shoulder, and he looks out over. He didn't see you. He was surprised that he got shot from that spot. And you watch as he's trying to snap the bolt, and he's in visible pain. He's in agony.
All right, and I guess I have one more action, so I'll continue to take cover.
All right. Okay. Even, you're on the boat. Do you know how to play your character? Do you want to do something? You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Sure. Yeah, I think so.
Just throw your body in there. You're a barb, aren't you? We were actually talking about you on the boat and how you even ate the bones.
You were nominated for Fearless Leader, I think.
Yeah, you were literally our fearless leader.
Yeah, the general went through the entire Goblin cast and could not find a fit leader. It was
until Frankko agreed to take the part.
Yeah,
he's playing a chieftain.
Yeah.
All right, Even, what do you got?
So Even's been staring off into space, and somebody on the boat nudges him and says, "Are you going to get in there?" And he just like snaps to and doesn't say a word and springs off the boat. So he's just going to spring off the boat and try to clamber up these boxes and up the wall.
All right. How much move was that?
That was 45 feet to get there.
Okay, so you can use your... It's 2 moves to do that then because you're slow. So go ahead and make a athletics check. And if you pass that, you can show up on the top. You rolled privately. Oh, yeah, you made it. That's good. You can change that to public for the future, but yeah, you did pass. You rolled an 18. So you are up here, and you can... that's your entire move. You can be in any square adjacent to this, but it takes... You only move up 5 feet on a regular success, so you are there.
That's fine.
All right, and you come up here and you watch the foreman is agonizing as just being shot, and he's being mocked by Frankko with his little puppet. And you watch as this guy's over here is frantically trying to pull out a puck from between the boxes and failing miserably. And the foreman goes, and he doesn't like that he just got shot really bad, and he's surrounded. So he begins shouting. He tells the dockhand, "Get the bell, get the bell!" And he sees Frankko in the way of the bell. So he is going to turn to Frankko. He's going to reload a crossbow with 1 action. He is going to shoot the crossbow with 2nd action.
Can I do my nimble dodge on this?
Yes, you can. I forgot I have to ask you that, but yes, you can.
So I think it's just an extra 2 to...
Yeah, so he misses wildly, and he uses his 3rd action to take cover. So he kind of ducks down behind the little ramparts here, and he's trying to clear away for his friend, and not sure it's going to work. Opilius, seeing that you goblins have it in hand, he begins chuckling. You actually hear him laughing, and he's excited that these are his savages, as he calls you. You're scaring the hell out of these elves. This is exactly what he wanted to happen. So, Puck.
All right, Puck will reach one hand out at the individual who's attempting to pull him out, and a spray of stars will... let me see, how do you triple juice this?
How do you, if you go to the measure, you want to draw it?
Yeah, I want to, no, I'm just going to spray this dude, bro.
It's hopefully. A cone, though, yeah? Can you hit him and not hit Jeff?
I don't know, how does it spread?
It's a 15-foot cone, yeah.
Is it 3 from in front of me, or is it 1?
You could do it like that, though. You could do it like that.
Yeah.
So you have and describe your spell. What does it do?
Well, a spray of blinding light emerges from his fingertips.
Oh, that sounds good.
Dealing 1d4 fire damage.
All right.
And the creature must attempt a reflex save or become dazzled.
All right, good. Mash the spell button. Maybe it'll roll it for you automatically. We'll see. Some of them do, some of them don't. It does. Well, I guess you have to actually mash the 1d4 inside of that, but I have a save button too. So you can mash the damage button. I have failed. I did not critically fail, thankfully. So I take 2 damage. Failure.
And that'll be a +1 because I'm going to do that heightened or whatever. Is that using 2 spell slots?
That's if you use it as a 2nd level spell. So as a focus spell,
so no,
it's
never mind.
Not yet. The answer is no, but soon. And he is dazzled for 3 rounds. Sweet.
Is he blind?
No, he's dazzled. It's not blind. It's like that. The other penalty. You can click on that to see what dazzled does. Your eyes are overstimulated. Your vision is your only precise sense. All creatures are concealed from you. You are not blind, though. Concealed means you make a flat roll. You roll d20. You got to roll higher than a 5 to hit them.
All creatures and objects. So he theoretically can't see the bell anymore?
He can try. He has to roll to hit the bell. But he can try. So that was Puck. That was 2. I think it was 1 or 2 actions, the new spray of stars.
Most spells are 2.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
Alright, so you have 1 action left. Are you doing anything else?
I probably can't stab from within the boxes, right? Or can I do with
I don't know.
you're
very rubbery. I don't know.
Oh well, yeah. You tell me. Is it
I'm gonna go with yes. We'll go with it. Yeah.
All right. So we'll go with the third action. Yeah. There we go.
That is a critical miss. So I'll go ahead and roll one of those for you. A critical fumble deck number 50 says this is a melee attack. Broken half. Your weapon's current hit points are reduced to broken threshold. If already broken, takes damage. So your shears are broken. They can still be used, but they have a big penalty, I believe. You'll have to repair.
Very upsetting. Very upsetting.
And that was
Puck does not handle this well.
Gerhardt.
Gerhardt is going to. Can I see what's going on up there?
From where you are, you have a pretty good shot at Dockhand 4. You can see him, and you did see the foreman. He shot at you and then is taking cover, so you can see both of them. Not very well, but you can see them.
Okay. I'm going to cast Illusory Object over here.
All right.
And can I conceal the bell by casting the background in front of the bell, or is that too crazy?
I think at the angle you're at, you can't really cast at the bell, because again, you're down underneath it and it's up and far away. So I don't think you can even really see the bell from where you are.
Okay, then can I walk? Can I jump on a box or something, or
you can move if you want, or you can try again. You can try acrobatics if you want to swing on the ropes, or athletics if you want to jump off the boat. You could also just walk to the mast.
Okay, I'll walk to the mast there.
Okay, and then
I'll walk to the end of the mast.
You can. Yeah, you got 3 actions, so you can move a bunch if you want.
I'll do that, and then I'll cast Illusory Object. I'm basically trying to conceal the bell.
Okay. So you're trying to make it look like what?
I'm trying to make it look like it's clear, so that when he looks over, he just sees the background. But if that's too difficult, then I'll just put boxes, I guess.
Okay.
Suddenly, there's all these boxes in the way. Whatever you like.
All right, sure. Go with the boxes. That sounds doable.
I'll hit the Illusory Object.
Yeah. Spells area is a 20-foot burst. Yeah, so you just put a bunch of boxes in front of the bell. So now it's his turn. So he watched you stab yourself. You cast a spell at him and then stabbed yourself with your shears. So that they broke. And the Dockhand was ordered to run away, so he's going to try to run past you, Frankko. And you don't have attack opportunity, right? You don't get those? Okay, so he runs past you, and he gets here, and he sees a bunch of boxes. So he stops, and he's shocked to find all these boxes here, and he begins to move them. He begins to smack one of them away, and he interacts with them, and will make a will save to see if he believes that they are actually there. So he's gonna use one action move. He's spending another action.
Is there any kind of penalty from the dazzled effect for all this stuff?
I'm gonna go with he has a penalty. We'll figure out what it is in a second, but let's make a will save and see if it even matters. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So you watch as he smacks the box and it doesn't move and he doesn't understand. So it's not like it's interacting well with him. It's just he smacks it and his arm does stop. Like he believes it's physically there, and he's confused. He's like, it's covered in boxes. Where did all these boxes come from? And Frankko.
The boxes say tropical fruits, gimbleberries. Dial gimbleberries.
Elves love gimbleberries.
Elves love gimbleberries.
Frankko.
All right, so Frankko will turn around and I guess move over. Feels terrible to use an action on 5 feet, but that's fine. And stab him. Let's do a finisher on him.
Joe, I think the Inspire Courage is still on him, so you'll have to -1 it.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Is there a way to automatically click it off or something? Did that just do it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. You right click it for other.
Correct. Yeah. If you click on yourself on the top right, you can see what buffs you have on you and click them off. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Cripes. Okay. That is a critical hit.
What? Come on, seriously?
I guess Is that 2d6? I guess is part of it. Oh, it's a deadly d8 and precise. Yeah.
It was a finisher strike, so.
Well, that's. Does the finisher also multiply? I guess.
It's yeah.
I don't know that, but I believe it. Okay, so yeah.
Brutal.
How do you want to do this? How do you describe your strike? He's dead.
I mean, it's nothing special. He just takes his rapier and, I guess, jams it through the back of his head.
So yeah, he's frantically trying to understand where these boxes came from, and he doesn't even see you come up as you just get him right in the back of the skull, just nimbly, and he collapses to the ground.
He's still moving the boxes. His body's still moving the boxes.
Yeah, his body hasn't figured out he's dead yet, but he is done. Yeah.
And so then Frankko turns around and starts singing an annoying song to the foreman about his dead dockhands.
He is just cursing in Elven, and that is not good enough. So even though he's I think he's afraid or something, even with a penalty, he didn't be affected by that. Squirrel.
All right, I realize I've been forgetting to reload my crossbow, so I will reload the crossbow. Sorry about that. And again, take aim at the hunted, the foreman.
Yep.
Okay.
He did take cover last round, and that is not a hit unless you have a bonus to hit from something.
No, I don't think so. Right, the precision only comes into play after I hit, so
Yes.
no.
Yeah, so your bolt smashes on the rampart next to him, and you watch as he jumps. Like you did have a chance at his shoulder, but he jumps behind the thing, and you have missed. That was one action to reload, a second action to fire, so you have one left. Yeah.
And so do I take cover each time? That's the appropriate
Yes,
action. Basically,
you spend your turn.
Dack.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Then I'll do the same.
Okay. And even. Muted.
You're muted. You're muted.
Are you talking to
Like
us?
it's
Or are you talking to
good.
us?
You're saying such good things.
Never mind. So even reaches up to grab his sword and instead starts to shake and twitch when he hears the other guy go down, and a big rivulet of drool comes out of his mouth, and he walks. He does not run. He walks over, and takes a bite at the foreman.
Takes a bite at the foreman. He is raging.
Is that a spell-like ability?
No.
I just drag that to my character.
I think so. Yeah, the effect rage. You just drag it onto your token or your sheet, and it should show up on your like that.
Yeah, nice.
You've got rage, and now you have a shark bite, which I guess you said you're theming as an alligator type bite.
Yeah.
That is a critical hit. I like how you all rolled like
Goblins.
5s on the social encounters, and then
Yeah, no, this is perfect.
Do I
asked for better.
do I roll damage? What do I roll?
Yeah, so go to your strikes, and on the shark jaws, go to the right side, like the far right. There's a critical button, which will double it automatically.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect.
So he takes 16 damage, and yeah. So what do you bite off?
Probably one of his arms. He probably just grabs him and bites him off at the elbow.
Yup. And yeah, he goes limp. He's just shocked, and you watch as all of his blood pours out of his arm into your gaping maw, and you just rip off a ton of his flesh. You just shear the flesh off of his arm, and he dies screaming. And that's everybody who's here. So you managed to kill them before they set off the bell. What would you like to do?
I start singing with Frankko about stuffing elves in boxes, chopping up their legs, cutting up their hair, that kind of stuff. I'm joining in the fervor now, and I see Even getting pumped up, and he starts getting fervorous too, in Goblin style.
So I think there's a lot of boxes around. I would love to try to loot some of them. I don't know if there's. I guess I'm gonna try to loot as much until somebody tells me to stop.
All right. So Squirrel is going into some of these boxes and casks. Anybody doing anything else?
Frankko would try his luck with Puck again. So he'd walk over and again ask him like, "Hey, you know, do you do patchwork?"
Puck will hold out the scissors and say, "You fix."
I'm no, that's not me.
Turn, I'll be right back.
You
I
fix.
I'll try to find somebody who can fix if you can fix.
Puck will cast heal.
So I have a repair kit. I think I see. Wait, the heal that was for. Oh, okay. But I'll go and offer my use of my repair kit, which says contains portable anvil, tongs, woodworking tools, a whetstone, and oils. I assume for conditioning leather and wood.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume it's appropriate for fixing the barber's shields, the shears.
Yeah, and you have the craft skill, yeah. Crafting. You do.
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you believe you'd be capable of this, yeah. So I'm gonna match the healing thing. So basically, you use the
Do I have to
2-action
roll
version.
something, or
Yeah, hit
do
the
I
healing
roll
button,
the?
Yeah.
and it's +8, so you get 10. So I'll just heal you for 10. Pow. That's full. Yeah. So go ahead and roll a craft check. So you're going through some boxes, and you go upstairs, or you climb. You get up there. Let's say you get all the way up, and you're now talking, and yeah, you managed to repair his shears. It was a fairly easy fix. They didn't like shatter or anything like that. So you guys are all doing that.
Puck nods in appreciation. He considers the exchange completed.
All right.
We'll just stay and go back inside his boxes and play with the elf hair.
Okay. Gerhard, what are you doing down there, buddy?
I'm gonna go over here and peek inside.
Sure. I'm gonna drag you down here temporarily.
Whoa.
You see a room filled with gears. And this is under the big crane operation.
Oh. Anything interesting? What kind of boxes?
There are wooden boxes. There's only 4 of them. It's not as stocked as the other places you've seen. And you watch as the this is turning, but the mechanism right now is making it so this doesn't actually turn. So you watch as this is just turning constantly. Something is churning this, and the machinery allows you to stop and actually use that power to do things with the crane.
Great stuff. Okay. I'll look through some boxes while I'm here.
All right. So you begin looking through some boxes.
Frankko will start climbing up the crane to try to get over to the hook.
Okay. Sure.
What, is that athletics or what
Athletics
is
is climbing, yeah.
that? Okay.
Yep. You do not fall down and die. So what are you trying to do?
He's trying to get over to the hook, basically.
Okay.
He wants to do a dramatic move.
Okay.
So he goes over the hook and hangs on it, and then adopts like a really, like noble pose as he's grabbing on, and basically hopes that his weight will allow the rope to pull down. He's basically looking at Opilius as he does this.
Mm-hmm.
So does it go down or is it just stuck?
It'll go down. Yeah, when you put weight on it, it'll go down.
So basically he just like stone faced as he's there, just gets in his pose and just like kind of goes down heroically.
Yeah. And you watch as Opilius and a bunch of the others get off the boat. And they begin inspecting. So they do wait a little while to make sure nothing else seems to be coming out. And they inspect what's going on. And he nods as you come down. He nods and he laughs. And he says, "You did it." He's like, "You got the savages to do it." He looks around. He says, "Is it the stock is ours then? You see no one else?"
I mean, nobody that I saw. If somebody else comes, we'll kill him. That's what he does.
And he laughs at that, and he seems very happy that that's your attitude here. He's like, "You guys did good work here. How many were there?"
Well, I don't
Do
know.
any of us know how to count?
Yeah, seriously. Even can only count even numbers.
So he, Frankko describes, but he basically, as he's describing, he's like, well, there was the one dockhand that got killed this way, and then there was, he kind of like goes back through.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets there, but he's kind of like recounting everything that happened.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are talking and looting. So Squirrel, you went through some of the boxes down here before you went up and did that. And all you found for the most part were like, you opened a couple of boxes down there and you saw like cereal grains, basically. The sort of things you take on a long sea journey for a sustenance. And who else opened boxes? Gerhardt, you opened some boxes in here. And you found basic tools and a little bit of oil and stuff that you think would be to operate this machinery and to help repair this machinery.
Nothing worth any money.
I mean, the tools are well made, but you don't think they're worth an exceptional amount of money now.
All right, I'm gonna leave, and this is the guy whose leg I stroked, right?
Yes, he doesn't like that. And I'll also note that the machinery is interesting. Like it's genuinely advanced. Like you haven't seen anything. You were, I don't know, I can't know your whole backstory, but you would not likely have seen something like this.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm from a tiny island.
Yeah, this is of Elven design, like this sort of machinery.
So I will run by Opilius.
Yep, Opilius.
And I basically just walk by him, and I punch him in the back, and I punch him in the back from behind and say, "Yeah, man, we did it. Nothing worthwhile in there, but that construct is very cool."
It's the construct? What?
The lifting machine.
Ah, he looks at the crane that Frankko is still kind of nobly posing on. Ah, yes. He's like, it's amazing. It looks. How much do you think it could lift?
I don't know. Do I have knowledge?
I don't know. What knowledge?
No, but you've proven already that you're full of shits.
Yeah, they think I'm full of shit. He literally says, I don't know about this. I know about elves, but I don't know about this.
He nods and he looks around at the size of the boxes around. Certainly looks like it could move things fairly quickly. It's very intriguing design.
They've got mechanical maintenance tools inside the shed.
And he's interested in seeing that, so he's going to go take a look at that.
And Gerhardt's going to stand under Frankko and sing him entry music as he descends down.
Anybody doing anything else?
I will come out from his boxes and start inspecting the dead foreman, who appeared to be the most a person in a position of highest authority, and start handling his hair.
His hair is just as long as all the others, and it is again a silverish blonde. And you begin fondling his hair. You still have the clump of the other person.
What does it smell like? Yeah, oh yeah, I've stowed that.
That's on your sheet. Good. His hair smells like birch and the sea. You can tell that he spends most of his time out here. It is a salty birch smell.
Very good. I like that you've got something for the.
I'm just swinging it. It's
getting
weird.
That's a nice touch.
All right. You were saying something, Squirrely?
Yeah, well, first of all, I wanted to grab some of the grains, deeming it suitable to feed a messenger pigeon that I have stowed.
Yes.
So I'm just going to grab some of that. And then I'm used to scouting my way through forests. And so I would like to look for a tall vantage point for me to climb up and scout, just take a look at the surrounding area. I don't know if the crane's taller or some of the nearby trees are taller. Whatever's appropriate, I have climbing gear to get up there quick.
Yeah, you think the tree would probably be taller. You can move out a little bit of ways. You don't want to go too deep into the forest right now, but there are trees that are taller than the structure you're in now, yeah.
Something like over here? Okay.
Sure.
And then, I would like to take a look around. I know that, as I understand it, the town's nearby, so I'm just trying to assess how far it is and what might lie between us and the town.
Okay. So go ahead and make a climb check to make sure you, an athletics check to make sure you don't fall down. Yep, you climb successfully. It takes you a little bit to get up there, but you don't slip along the way.
Okay, and then, I just want to look around.
Yeah, so the town is about 3 or 4 miles away. So you do see that there's a very thick forest, but there is a clear path that leads from here up towards the town, and you think you can just barely make it out from your vantage point.
Because the trees are so thick, is what you're saying?
Correct,
It's just, got it, okay.
Yeah, so you see the path winds around, and you can definitely make out that there's something there. There's like it's a clearing, but it's not, you don't see visible, like, very tall buildings or anything like that, and it's a small town from your estimation.
Small town, okay. And I assume nothing else on the horizon, no big, watchtowers or
You
nearby
do
people.
actually spot a watchtower, you do. So, between here and there along the path, there is a large wooden watchtower that you have spotted from your vantage point.
In one of the trees, or it's actually a freestanding structure?
It is a freestanding structure near a bunch of trees.
Got it. Okay. So I do want to go report this back. I'll go, I guess, report it back to Opilius. Opilius?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Opilius, whatever you want. Yeah. Okay. So you come back, and he was inspecting the machinery while you were away, and he was very interested in it. Again, this is advanced stuff he's never seen before, and it looks amazing to him. So as he's marveling at it, you come back, and what happens?
And I just give him the straight report. Just tell him what you described.
Okay. And he seems impressed both at the report and the initiative you took to generate it while all your other goblin friends are looting and doing all sorts of other things. He says, "This is very valuable information. Thank you." And he looks and says, "I knew there was something about you. You didn't see it in yourself, but I saw it in you."
The
Guy's full of shit.
chirps a little bit while he's talking.
What's Even up to? Are you just like chewing the fat up there? Literally?
You got the
Even
arm,
sort
I've
of-
got the head.
He sort of stands over the guy for a minute, and when he calms down, he takes the guy's shirt and starts wiping himself off because he's got a lot of blood on him, and he does a quick loot of the guy and then climbs back down and starts splashing up water onto himself to wash all the blood off of him.
Okay. So you guys are doing this kind of stuff for 10, 20 minutes. And then somebody else comes out. So I'm going to end the combat and start a new one. You're all just doing what you're doing. And mash begin. I'll mash that. Mash this. I added all the dead guys. That is frustrating.
No God.
I'm gonna end the combat again and just start over because that was so stupidly annoying. Okay, I'm gonna move the dead guys away so I don't accidentally select them. Alright, gotta work on that. Gotta make that not happen in the future. Alright, did I miss anybody? I think that's all you. Alright, new encounter, toggle combat status. There you go, there you go. And roll everybody else initiative. Alright, so you're all doing what you're doing, so they're gonna get a round before you, so begin combat. Opilius is talking to Squirrel and lauding your tenacity and initiative. And a dockhand comes a walk-in from over here. Yoink. Gets to here and he turns around and he is very clearly drunk. He's stumbling over to here and he turns and he sees a couple of goblins and a human and he's confused. And he shouts back. He says, Jareth? Something's wrong here. And then that's what he does with his turn. And we can continue going in initiative. So Orin is back here. Orin he takes cover behind this and he raises his shield. Because Orin is a coward. And even we're back to fighting music.
I guess even we'll just go in there.
Alright.
How do I make the path?
You right click, it should let you do it while just moving now.
Yeah. Right clicking on the mouse pad stuff.
Oh, you got a Mac and why not?
So even we'll just move to him?
Yeah, I believe you could do that. Right.
I guess even will hide. I don't know.
Kill him.
Kill him!
Yeah, even will just move up. I don't know that I can't. I have to double move to get to him. Can I draw? I don't know how drawing works. Is drawing an action now?
I think so. I'm not sure if you can do it as part of a move. I believe it's an action.
Okay, so then he'll just draw his sword as he walks over.
Yeah, because there are certain abilities. I know rogues have it. You can draw and attack at the same time. So yeah, it's an action. So you double move and draw your weapon, get in his face. Gerhardt.
Gerhardt was having fun with Frankko and doesn't like that, so he will hop up on the building. I guess you want me to move over and up.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I want to hop on the building. Need a climb check or anything, or?
Where'd you move exactly? Let me see.
I was here with.
Yeah.
I was here.
Yes, you need to make a climb check. Yes.
Okay. Athletics.
Yep, you made it.
And I'll run over to the edge of the building here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm hitting walls.
Oh, yeah. Let me teleport you through the wall. Blam. Where you want to be?
Here, on top of these boxes.
Yep.
And do I see whoever he shouted for?
You do not at the moment, no. And what you see over here is there's a waterfall basically that is going over a water wheel, which is what is making the mechanism work for the crane. But you do not see anybody yet, no.
Okay, then I'll just hit him with a. Can I cast shield on my friend over there?
Oh, I think it's personal only, right?
Yes,
it's just you. So you're shielding yourself?
No, I'll do Stu Inspire Courage, because all would have been 2 actions.
Okay.
Same thing. I begin to sing about dead elves in boxes.
Okay, and it's a 60-foot area, so that's pretty big.
I think I hit everybody. I'll tell you who I don't hit.
Oh, I could also just...
No, I hit everybody. Yeah, my radius is massive.
Shoddy.
Shoddy.
I could also do this.
Try right now.
Pow, that's 60 foot. That's too bright. Let's change that opacity down a bit. It's a 60-foot area from you. It's huge. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off.
Shoddy.
Alright, there you go. So yeah, so pretty much everybody, you're done. Puck.
Shoddy.
You said this is 10 feet?
10 feet high, yes.
The wall? Yeah. I feel like probably not the same enthusiasm for down as up.
Okay.
So, where is? These are the stairs?
Up at the top of the stairs, yeah. But again, this is a 5-foot box, so you could kind of slide down to that if you wanted to be a little more careful. It wouldn't be that. It's still climbing, but it's not as bad.
All right, yeah, we'll hop to the box.
Okay. Go ahead
I'll
and give
hit
me
you with the,
athletics
yeah.
check. That'll do your move. Yeah, you slide down easily enough. You can. It takes you 2 moves to get there and all the way down, but you can end up down here if you want with 2 moves. And you get another action if you have anything else you'd like to do.
We'll cram ourselves in there.
Okay. All right. And then somebody else is going to go, and they need to move. It's 15 feet, and that gets him here. So he moves to there, and that's 15, 25. He can move to there. Yeah, he can move 30 feet, because elves are fast. And hearing that something's up, he's already got an axe in one hand and a beer in the other hand, and he also looks visibly drunk. But that doesn't stop him. He's going to walk up, and he's going to try to use his axe on Even. And a 14 ain't going to do it. So he swings at you, Even, and you can tell that, again, he's drunk and he's a little sluggish, and when he pulls the axe up, he actually drops back a little bit. The weight surprises him, and he is swinging and missing. And he can try again. It was a move and an attack, so he can try again. 13 ain't going to do it either. Yeah, so he swings wildly and drunkenly. And Frankko.
Alright, I guess Frankko will start running around the corner and see what's what. So he'll get there and see what's going on. And he'll catch the tail end of the harbormaster missing. So he'll run over here, and he will taunt the harbormaster with something like, "What a freaking charade to watch this guy wield his blade. Swing after swing, he misses everything. You all need an upgrade." And we'll do a little intimidate check on that.
Awesome.
I'm gonna give you a hero point for all these hilarious
rhymes.
I'm
hero
taking
point.
these rhymes. I gotta be better at giving hero points. And you're intimidating the harbormaster.
Harbormaster, yeah.
That is a success, so not a critical, a regular success. So he is frightened for one turn?
Yep.
Alright. Frightened.
That's it for me.
Where is frightened? There is frightened. Pow. Alright.
All right, so I will load the crossbow, hunt prey again, and I'll hunt the harbor master. So I'll do a normal crossbow. Okay.
That is a hit because he is frightened.
Great. Okay, so that's ace damage. And then the 1d8.
Everybody, Bijo is in the house. Bijo is watching us live.
Bijo!
Bijo!
What's up, dude? What's up, man?
What up, Bijo?
What up? Yeah, that is a hit, and he takes both of those. Boom, boom.
And that's it.
That's it. All right. That was Squirrel. Another dockhand comes stumbling out, drunk. And he gets to here, and you watch as he looks and he can't really get around, so he reaches to the side and grabs a crate and tries to throw it at Even. So you watch as he moves, and then he uses the heft crate action. He can heave a crate 15 feet. And he is throwing a crate, and I can make it visible. He's throwing the crate like there. Boom! That explodes. See if he... there's no attack roll, which is pretty great. It's like an area effect, so it just explodes on Even for 6 damage. Or your reflex is what? You have it, and you did it. So yeah, you take...
You're rolling privately, dude, huh?
Oh, yeah, you don't have to roll privately, but you rolled a 16.
I don't know how to turn off the private roll. I
On
didn't turn
the
it
bottom, like above the chat box, you would type. It's like public roll, private, or whatever. You can click that.
Oh, I didn't.
It's all good.
I probably had that from last time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got a 16, so you took half. And you took 3 damage. That was the dockhand's turn. He moved and took 2 actions to do that, so he's done. Opilius. Oh, that's me. Opilius is going to look, and he readies his bow, but doesn't actually shoot. So he watches as Even's there, and he's very interested to see how you goblins are handling yourself. So you watch as he assesses the threat, and then just kind of puts the bow down. He's going to watch again. As Dockhand 6 goes. And Dockhand 6 is drunk, but not drunk enough. So he's going to use the swig action to drink his whiskey and give him a +2 bonus on damage rolls. But he's clumsy, which is -1 to all your dexterity type stuff. So he is going to swig in front of you, even. He takes a bottle out, and he's staring at you as he pounds his entire bottle of whiskey. And then he swings at you with his fist. And a 17 is not going to do it. You have a breastplate on, and you watch as his fist clangs against your breastplate, and he looks like shocked as if he's hurt his hand. And that's it for him. Orin. That's me again. He's not doing anything. I'm going to take him off initiative. And we're back to Even.
All right, I'm off mute, which is good.
Good.
So even instead of swinging with the sword, when everyone starts swinging on and drops his sword, and we'll start biting instead.
You're gonna rage, drag it on, bite.
That is cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great piece of software. Yarr. And then do your shark bite. An 11 isn't gonna do it. No. Oh, yeah, it is. Well, wait, what's wrong with his dockhand? He is drunk. Yes, that is a hit because he's drunk. He has -1 to his dex.
Hooray!
And Bardic Inspiration. Yay, Bard.
That's in there though, right? Yeah. Inspire Courage is in there. It says it.
It's in there.
Yep. So go ahead. You hit the dockhand. You bit the dockhand. For 8.
Rolled a 2 and a 1.
Oh, sorry. So you take a big bite out of him, and he's still standing, but he's just shrieking in horror at the big chunk of flesh you've removed from him.
I'll take a second bite.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice. Go ahead. Yeah, you get a second bite. Rage is an action. Attack is an action.
How do I do that?
You go to strikes, and you go to the second one, which is like it's plus whatever the next one is. Like you have +8, and the next one is +3. There you go. Jeez.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, that is a hit. That is a bite. Go ahead and roll your damage again.
What's the roll on critical? 10 or more, right?
Yes, you have to beat it by 10. You did not beat it by 10. You were very close. But, yes. So he is dead. How do you want to describe what you did to this poor man?
So even basically bites him hereish on the chest, and then clambers with all 4 of his limbs, grabs onto him, and then bites him on the face and like crushes the front of his face.
All right. And he collapses, and the people behind him are horrified. The harbormaster is already afraid, and watching this macabre scene is freaking him the hell out. I'm going to give him an extra fear effect, an extra level of frightened. And Gerhardt.
Gerhardt G. Payne. I continue to sing songs and now add lyrics about eating goblin faces.
Eating goblin faces?
Eating human or elvish faces. And then I will cast telekinetic projectile.
All right. Go ahead. There's an attack button there for it.
Yeah, I will go. Go for the harbormaster.
Okay. Did you roll twice, or can I get 1, right?
No, the first one is my roll.
Okay, correct. You hit.
And then I'll hit damage.
Yes. Ooh, big one. Oh, you deleted. That's what happened. Okay, yeah. So you hit him for 7. Yeah, got nothing against that. What did you throw exactly? What did you telekinetically throw at him?
I would throw any limbs coming off Dockhands 6 at him.
Any of the various limbs in the area. Okay.
Maybe just fiddle with gore and destines and stuff.
All right, Puck.
Well, hearing the shrieking dockhand, Puck will begin shrieking also, emerge, and charge the harbormaster.
All right.
Yes.
Jumping over the corpses. I like it.
Yeah. And I think that is my shot. I should just stop doing this third attack.
You have a hero point.
Well, wait, that's not a third attack,
That's
though.
true.
No. So,
Yeah, it was 30 feet to get to him,
yes,
unfortunately.
but so only things that have the attack action or the attack modifier tag, whatever it's called, trait, affect your map. Just because you're using your third action,
okay.
if it's your first
Okay.
attack, yeah. So just ignore that and roll the first one again. There you go. Yes,
that
that
was
is
good.
it. There you
It's a
go.
turnaround.
Yes. That's an understandable mistake,
Much
but
better than
glad
mine,
we
too.
sorted it. So go ahead and stab him with your shears.
Yeah.
3 damages. He takes it. And that was 2 moves and a stab, so you're done. And the harbormaster goes, and he was most hurt by, I want to say, even. So he's going to try again. How well armored do you look, Puck?
Studded leather, I believe.
Okay, so, and even's in a breastplate.
Yes.
So yeah, I think he's going to try to hit Puck first then. So he's going to swing on you with his axe, because he thinks you are an easier hit. His hatchet.
Ooh.
That'll
And
do.
He does hit for 5 damage. And then he turns and swings.
I think physical DR2 also.
You are
right?
correct. Yes, your oracle hard body. You just ignore 2 damage from all physical sources. Good,
Oh.
good memory. Yeah,
Great.
I just healed you.
You are too.
So he takes his axe, and as he swipes at you, he moves and he sweeps because he has a sweeping hatchet. Hatchets have the sweep ability, so he makes his next attack on even, and he gets a +1 on it. But also he has a -2 from being afraid of everything. So it's a net -1. That is a miss on even. So he clangs against your breastplate, but he does get a good clip on Puck. And that's it. He's done. Frankko.
Frankko is gonna make his way around his friends if that's possible.
Sure. I'm just gonna move this corpse out of the way.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
It's under Puck, but yeah.
So he'll go there, and then do a finisher on the harbormaster.
Go for it. Yup, that is a critical hit.
Run up while everybody's distracted. Stick them.
Yup. So again,
Oh,
how do
man,
you assassinate this elf?
I don't think he's doing anything special, right? He kind of, let's say he runs up, and as he's running past his friends, he kind of lines it up and launches his blade into the harbormaster's neck on the run.
Barely even paying attention. Just
Yeah.
Nothing special, just a 21 damage.
So he just does that
Theatrical flair.
on a theatrical flair, exactly, and then looks over to the dockhand and starts singing an annoying little song about how all of his friends are dying. But obviously knowing that he doesn't speak the language, kind of like does it mockingly, physically. And so we'll do a little goblin song here.
Yep, that beats him. So he has a -1 to will saves and whatever the other thing is. Yeah, there you go.
Perception, yeah.
Perception and will. All right. I don't think that's going to matter much longer because Squirrel goes.
So as I'm going to start to reload my crossbow, I'm going to look over to Opilius and say, hey, should we take this last one alive so we can learn a little bit more about all the machinery here?
He nods. That's good thinking, Squirrely. And he says,
Okay,
you can
so
take him alive?
Oh. Well, I have in my inventory, I noticed this thing called sap, because I figured Squirrel would be trying to take things alive sometimes. And so it's not equipped. Do I spend an action to equip it?
Yes.
Is that how it would work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So So it's described as
it's like a little
soft
club
wrapping
bit.
around a dense core, typically a leather sheath around a lead rod. Its head is wider than its grip to disperse the force of the blow.
Yeah, like
and
a
the
blackjack.
weapon will knock out its
Yep,
weapon.
exactly.
It's
So I
like a
think
quarter.
it's the exact same thing. Yeah.
Okay, so instead of reloading the crossbow, I'll just equip the sap as one, and then I've got to actually get to him, right? So one. Oh no, so that'll actually take 2 actions. Okay, well maybe I'll run up behind these guys, and I'll just shout to them like, "Hey, let's take him alive!" And I'll kind of show my staff that I'm waving around, and hope they're not raging too much to reel it.
All right. Dockhand 6 goes. It's his turn now. And seeing a bunch of enemies and seeing all his friends dying, he is just going to pick up another box and try to huck it at you. So he is going to... Yeah, he can just huck it here and hit all 3 of you because it's like an area effect. All 4 of you. So everybody in there make a reflex save. I'll hit the button again. He hefts another crate at you.
Oh.
Alright, and who's the other one? Even. Yeah, even. Okay. So he does 3 damage, and if you beat an 11, you get half. So only Squirrel takes 3, everybody else takes 1.
All right. Do I do that to myself, or do you do it?
I can do it. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't see a button.
I can do it. Yeah, there's a the damage button itself has a thing.
Oh, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah. I can just do it to everybody too. It's fine. Oh, is everybody else doing it?
There, I
Okay.
think I got it. Did I get it?
And you guys do have, right? Yeah, so boom. Okay. Alright, that's the dockhand. That was one of his actions. And his other action is he's going to... There's nothing to take cover behind. So yeah, he's just going to stand there and have his fists up. Phileas is just watching.
He has nowhere to flee? Just looking behind.
He doesn't really. He could try to scurry up the thing, but no. We're back to even.
So every time one of you runs by, even snaps at the air. Like snaps like a dog would snap at someone's hand. And he seems to take a moment, recognize each of you, and then sort of ignores you. And when you say take him alive, he looks directly at you and says, alive. And then he rolls his head to the side and just looks at the dockhand. So we'll do...
What do you got?
I was going to do Intimidating Glare. I don't think there's a button for it. I'm just going to do an Intimidation.
Yeah, and you critically succeed.
And he moves here, and then rather than biting his face off, he grabs him by the nearest limb and tries to clamp on.
You can do that. You can do an athletics check versus his fortitude save. And you can do that with your mouth. You can bite and hold on with your mouth, I was reading on how the Barbarian works.
That is correct.
So go ahead, yeah. Against his fort, that is a failure. Well, he's afraid. It's still a failure. Gerhard, your bard song doesn't give that bonus to this, right?
I'm just looking at that.
Mine does a -1 to will, but...
Oh! Yeah, then yes. Then you made it. There you go. Yeah, I didn't put the debuff on him. So yeah, you do succeed. So you managed to... No, it's his fortitude save. Apologies, yeah. So he's still fine. Unless you got him...
Yeah, mine's only attack rolls and damage rolls.
Okay. Then no. Then you try to bite on, and you feel him slip away, and you leave a scrape on his arm, but he manages to get out.
So our athletics checks... Like, if I roll an athletics check, is that an attack roll?
I think so, if you do it for the purposes of grappling. Let me see. But,
if it's a strike, yeah.
While we're figuring it out, we'll go with Gerhard's turn.
I'm going to shout to him in Elvish and say, stop resisting, I'll call off the dogs. And I'm going to try to make a diplomatic plea to my friend.
Yeah, grapple is an attack. So when you use athletics to grapple somebody, it is a attack action that does the map.
Okay, so the +1 will apply.
And what are you saying, G. Hain? Sorry?
I just say, stop resisting, I'll call off the dogs. Just lay down. You're okay. Lay down. Hands behind your back.
Yeah. You sweet talked him a little bit, and he does look terrified, and you're kind of calming him down, and he's got this shark goblin biting at his arm. So yeah, you watch as he's beginning to calm down a bit. And you doing anything else with your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to supplement that with a ghost sound of barking dogs behind him, like somehow we brought.
That'll calm him down.
And then you scare the crap out of him with dogs.
And also of note, you're speaking to him in Elven. You did your diplomatic speech, and you're speaking to him in common tongue Elven. And yeah, you got it. And you're making barking dogs appear behind him for some reason.
Barking dogs, and I tell the party, I think he might give up.
Okay. Well, Puck, what is Puck going to do about that?
Puck will attempt to leap on to the individual, irregardless of the instructions of others.
All right.
How may I climb him? What did we do that last time?
It was athletics. You're basically grappling him, so you're trying to steal his hair.
I'm gonna get up in there.
That is not good enough. I need to figure out if this Inspire Courage does, because I don't think it does athletics that are using as an attack action. So I'm gonna go with no. That is also a miss.
So, but it goes
All
to
right.
attack. The Inspire says it goes to attack rolls, right?
Yes, and these are athletics checks that have the attack trait. I don't know if that's an attack roll.
Yeah.
I
don't know. That is the case. Yeah, that's the question. Yeah.
Yes, I will figure it out, and I apologize if I am wrong, but I'm gonna go with no for right now.
Very good. All right. Well, frustrated by this, we will scream and stab.
Okay. That is a hit.
Wait, just to be clear, I don't think I'm inspiring right now because I use diplomacy and then ghost sound.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so
Well, like diplomacy's an action.
yeah, that's still a hit, and I'll heal him for one manually because you don't have the bard bonus to damage. But okay, all good. Frankko.
So Frankko will look back at Squirrel and then kind of look at Puck and take a second to think, but he'll basically drop his weapon and pull out his rope and do kind of like try to roll through the dockhand space while also trying to tie his feet together, if that's a possibility.
All right, yeah.
So I'm assuming either an acrobatics or an athletics, or what do you think?
Are you trying to actually bind him, or?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's athletics. You're trying to basically grapple him, and then if you succeed in the grapple, you can bind him later. So you do have to first grab him because he's not going to just let you tie his feet up.
Okay. So,
We have to move closer then.
yeah. Well, so I'm going to try to roll through his space first.
Okay. That is acrobatics.
Yeah. So that'll be the tumble through thing for the.
Yes. You have a special ability for that. Yes, Mr. Swashbuckler.
Yes. Well, I don't know
Oh,
because I picked a different style, but
I see.
that for people who are curious. So this guy.
Nice.
Yeah, you certainly do.
Okay. And then basically while he's doing that, I'll just roll this as another action, so he'll try to get the rope around him as he's coming through the space.
Okay. Athletics, yeah, as you're coming through. That does match. It does hit his fort save. So you kind of loop the rope around as you tumble through, and then as you stand up, you give it a little cinch, and he is surprised to find that his feet have been tangled up in this rope.
And then Frankko will look back at Squirrel and kind of like do like a little, bop.
And it's Squirrel's turn.
All right, let's come in for the bop. All right, so I'll move up, and then I will attack with the sap. Hey, there we go.
You crit with the sap. Go ahead and do double damage with the sap. Double non-lethal
And now
damage.
I mash critical. Is that right?
Yes, you do. Yep. Yeah, he is
There you go.
extremely unconscious.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm not gonna mark him as dead. He is unconscious.
there.
Yeah, you almost bopped him too good.
That's non-lethal. Can I accidentally kill him even though it's non-lethal?
In Pathfinder 1 you could. In this one I'm not so sure, so I'm gonna go with no for now. Because it's fun to have him alive. So you have succeeded in taking one alive. And stop the combat music because everybody's dead. What would you like to
Maybe
do?
we should scout around a little more to make sure there's no one else.
Even just
Were they
grabs him by the
literally there the whole time? Like if we had walked around the corner?
Yes, if anybody had explored that room, they were playing cards in there. You'll find out in a second.
Okay.
And very drunk.
I'm gonna run to the bell and look around.
Okay. The bell did not go off the entire combat. I'm gonna move you like this so you can just see the whole map too. The bell did not go off the entire combat, and you don't see anybody moving around. You just see a lot of tall trees. You can't see anything else that Squirrel has told you about, but you just see this path leading to the... It's to the south, even though it's up on the map. It's leading to the south, and a bunch of tall trees around it.
Nothing from here. Quiet. Just the
So
ocean.
Ian grabs him.
Yeah, have we looked in all the rooms now?
No. There's a room where they came from up here.
Oh, I don't see any door there, but there's...
Yeah, that's
we have
my
looked there.
fault for not putting it there, I suppose. Yes, but there is a door. If I move squirrely down to the bottom here, around here, and there is a door there.
It was around the thing, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I want to be the first one to enter, but...
Well, fair enough.
guess you're
I did that so
going
you could all
to
see. So who would want to be the guy kicking down the door?
I'm fine to do it.
All right. With panache, he knocks down the door. And I'll move you down there. And you find a little circular room with lots of boxes in it, and there's money and cards on the table. And empty bottles of whiskey.
Sounds like some loot.
Yep, so Frankko would call back to the group to just be like, it's clear in here, you guys can come in.
All right.
Puck
yeah.
remains outside cutting the hair of the unconscious elf.
Are you cutting his hair or scalping him?
Haircut. We're not savages here.
Very nice.
Just civilized.
All right.
I'm gonna take the whiskey, particularly if no one objects.
How much gold is on the table?
There is a bunch of pieces. There's only 2 gold pieces. There's a lot of silver and copper, but you don't believe it's more than like 4 or 5 gold worth of coins. But it's spread out. Like it's basically a bunch of poor people are playing poker. You're not playing with gold pieces.
I'm gonna bail out, put my kid to bed.
All right, night, buddy.
Later.
See you, Naz.
Good playing with you
Good to
guys.
see you, man.
Play.
You too.
Glad you can make it.
I'm gonna ask as I try to pocket the whiskey. I'm gonna go run back to the boss, Opilius,
Yeah.
and say, "What's the plan, boss? Looks pretty empty. Can we take this stuff?"
It's like, yeah, this is ours. And he was looking through some of the boxes himself. He says, it seems like there's a bunch of grain here. There's a bunch of food. Seems like we could, we're well supplied. This is great. If we need to stay here for a week or two, wait for reinforcements, it looks like we've got what we need now.
Did you say wait, Joe?
No. I said nice to see.
peace.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
He says, "So we're camping out. We don't need to advance."
He's like, we're going to head to the town. You got the others. Remember the ones we dropped off in the forest? They're making their way there now, but we can take a breather, heal up what we need, bandage if you need, and we'll be on our way. But yeah, but this is fantastic. He gestures to all the boxes here. We got to go through all this stuff, but it seems like we're ready to go the distance here.
Yes, this stuff is good. And he tries to conceal the whiskey from him.
Oh, he doesn't care about it, but yeah, if you conceal it, that's fine. So Frankko and Squirrel, who are hanging out in this room, you can give me perception checks. Wow, Frankko. Damn, Frankko.
Oops. I get it twice.
Damn, Daco.
Yeah, you got both ends of the spectrum there. You got a crit success and a crit failure. So Squirrel, you're distracted by the coins. Like you keep looking around to see what else is in the room, but you keep coming back to the fact like, hey, there's a bunch of money there. While Frankko makes his way around, and Frankko, you find in one of the barrels in the back. Do you speak Elven? Are you one of the ones that speaks Elven? No, you don't.
No, but I do.
Yeah, so
I don't know if he would tell me.
Well, he finds a bunch of barrels full of whiskey in here. And they all have Elven writing on them. And he doesn't notice anything odd about them. They just all have different Elven writing on them. And they're just barrels of whiskey.
Yeah, so he'll just start pulling the whiskey out and one by one putting the bottles on the table.
Well, one of these are like casks. So there are bottles around, but they basically just swill it out of the cask and do it that way. They're not stored in bottles.
Can we read them? Can Squirrel and I read them, or
are you there as well?
Pardon me, sir?
Are you there?
I'm basically going in and out of the room looting whiskey.
Okay. Then yes, then go ahead and make a perception check as well, Mr. G. Payne.
So they are pretty well hidden.
It's not so much well hidden as just you have to notice it. So as you're moving stuff around, you do roll well enough to see. So a bunch of the whiskey is just standard, the swill people drink to get drunk. But you do find that there is a bottle of whiskey that is labeled in Elven, and roll d22 as well to see what you know about Elven calendaring.
Roll a d20.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. So you're looking at stuff, and all of them have Elven numbers on them. So you're reading the Elven, and they're very clearly mostly whiskey. There's some wine around as well. But for the most part, it's Elven whiskey that you see. And they all have numbers on them. And you know nothing about the Elvish calendaring system, but one of the numbers is much lower than the other numbers. So you're like looking around like that's that number, that's 620, that's 616, and one of them says 580 on it.
Okay, I'll pass that over to the Goblin boss, who's been doing 34 damage. And say, I think this one's important, boss. And he points at the 580. Do we tell the humans, or do we keep it to ourselves?
So Frankko will look at it, and it just looks like gibberish to him. He goes, I don't know, get that guy who knows about Elvis shit?
I can read this stuff. Oh, you mean the other guy?
Yeah, that Oren guy, right? He knows about this. Maybe he knows?
But then we have to split it with them.
The whiskey?
The money. And he shakes it, and he says, this is worth something, man.
Yeah, but we don't know how much, because we don't know what the hell it is, right?
If I study it for some time, I can use my international trade abilities to determine its value, sir.
Okay, well then do that.
Okay. I'll tell the other goblins we have it, but I'll tell them to keep quiet. And he stuffs it away. So he shows Squirrel, who's in the room, and he shows him the label. And I'm like, good?
Yeah. Hey, man, we should hide that, because if we try to take it out and sell it, it's going to be hard. But we could go hide it in the forest, and so even if they come and go through all the boxes, they won't find it. We could pick it up later.
Is he trying to deceive me? There's some motive check in this.
We don't usually do that with players, but it's up to you.
I look at him and I grab it and I say, "Give me some time with it, and we'll hide it later. We'll hide it later." This is for us, man. This is for our time.
Squirrel just shrugs his shoulders and keeps looking through other stuff.
All right. So for now, you kind of rotate it so the label is facing the wall and hope nobody notices. But yeah, so that's it. It's midnight now, so that's the session. Anybody want to do anything else before we call it for the night?
No, set.
All right, you've secured the dock. You've looted. There's also a ledger in that room that we'll go over later, but it basically goes over information on the comings and goings of the port, including ship manifests, destinations, and estimated crew counts. It does show that there was an outgoing merchant ship with a crew of about 50 people just 3 days ago. So someone coming from the capital, stopping here, and then going to the south 3 days ago. And the port does not see a lot of traffic, as Orin kind of hinted in the beginning. But based on the ledger, some of the crew sizes, if they are to be believed, would imply the ships are quite large. Like, you see some ships with 100 or 150 people on them, which is much bigger than the ship you came in on. And that's it.
So a quick Pathfinder question. So how is experience handled? Do we not bother with that? You just tell us when we have done enough to level up, or what?
We will bother with it. I have a spreadsheet that will handle it. You did not level tonight, I can tell you that much. But I will be.
But you are keeping track of who we kill or all that stuff?
Correct, yes. Every encounter you have, everything you kill has worth experience, and you collect it and will level up.
Okay, and you keep track. We don't have to worry about it.
Yes, I will keep track of it, and I will let you know what you get each session, and I'll share the spreadsheet with you when it's ready.
Very good.
All right. Thanks for playing, everybody.
Sweet session.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for doing it all. It's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Do we do morals of MVPs and stuff? Or?
Yeah, let's do morals. MVPs, MVPs are not going to award hero points because they don't work that way. But go ahead. Does anybody have an MVP? Who do you think was amazing this session, and why?
My vote is Frankko for doing ridiculous
ridiculous stabbings were
and well prepared rhymes.
Yeah,
I love
indeed.
the rhymes.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. Well, I also want to nominate our friend Puck, who I thought did a lot of really fun stuff going in and out of his little crevices and chopping off hair and analyzing it. The thematic stuff was very cool. Really enjoyed it.
He's really in it, yeah.
Is that a thing? Is that an Oracle thing? Like you go into crevices?
No, that's a Puck thing.
Okay, that's a Puck
That's a goblin trait. And selected the most ridiculous elements I could locate and formed them into a cohesive Monty Python sketch.
It's very good. It's very good.
All right, so you can do a /GM and vote if you want to secretly vote, or you can say it out loud if you don't want to secretly vote. And while that's happening, anybody have any morals? I'm not sure. I guess we weren't collecting them. In the other group, we kind of collect them as we go along, and people read them.
We wrote them, actually, in the Discord.
Oh, you did? I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, go ahead. Roll them by. What do you got?
We got, are you offering a lead role? I applied to their school on bartering, but they rejected me because of race. Scroll down. What does his hair smell like? Opilius. Oh, that's me. Orin. That's me again. He's not doing anything. Man, I'm going to put a little icon for vote on this one.
Okay.
How do you do the /GM? I don't actually know that one.
I think it's /GM.
Oh, I
G,
did the wrong
G.
slash.
Yeah, and G, not D, because Pathfinder can't
It's
use the dungeon.
right. Sorry.
I think it's /GM. It should work.
Ah, there we
that
go.
worked. This is a thing. All right, so what is the moral? Orin, that's me again. He's not doing anything. Has 1 vote. Anybody else voting on things? Frankko is the MVP.
Hooray.
Congratulations. Moral, what does his hair smell like? Or Orin, that's me again. Anybody else want to vote?
Oh. I'll vote for the hair one. You can...
All right.
I'll switch my vote.
I really like keeping the GM on his toes. I think that's well outside the realm of what you had in mind.
Yeah. All right. Moral is, what does his hair smell like? There you go. So thanks again for playing. The bell didn't go off. I was really excited for that bell to go off, but that illusion was fantastic.
Love parts.
All right. Thanks for playing, guys.
Yeah, good times.
Joe.
Yeah, and thanks
Yeah,
for
look forward
watching
to the
the
next one.
6 or so people that I saw tune in. Hey.
There were 6 people?
There were 6 people at one point. I don't know if they stayed the whole time, but yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Bijo.
Shout out Bijo, dude. What's up?
See you later, guys.
Later.